You're watching TigerVision presented by Conley Buick GMC on PalmettoTigers.com. TigerVision is made possible in part by Conley Buick GMC, where we treat you like family, proudly serving Manatee County since 1966. Garrett Richard, workers' comp and payroll solutions for construction, agriculture, and high-risk companies. Clicking Spree, where we put your business on a clicking spree. DeVito's Auto Repair. For quality auto repair, visit the great team of auto repair specialists serving satisfied customers since 1978. Keaton's Office and Art Supply. Real, fast service, serving the business needs of the community since 1951. North Manatee Realty, serving Bradenton, Ellington, Palmetto, and Manatee County. Richardson Stinton Roofing, locally owned and highly experienced. Rico's Pizzeria and Pasta House. Rico's now with a Palmetto location on 8th Avenue. Boyd Insurance and Investment Services, winner of the People's Choice for Best Insurance Agency in Manatee County for the 8th consecutive year. Remedy Employer Services, our favorite local PEO, providing payroll services, benefits, and so much more. Superior Asphalt, superior quality, superior service, Superior Asphalt. Ugardi Architecture and Associates, architecture, planning, and interiors. The Kiwanis Club of North Manatee, proudly supporting Palmetto Parish, Ellington, and the surrounding areas. Spartan Air Services, serving Palmetto Parish, Ellington, Lakewood Ranch, and surrounding areas. Hungry Howie's, Palmetto. You got a family environment, and the Tiger Wash sponsor. Wing House of Ellington, for great wings, great family atmosphere, and fun. ASA Power, located in Palmetto, an electrical contractor with over 25 years of experience. ASA Power. Hello, I'm Brian Varnador, and thanks for joining us on TigerVision presented by Conley Buick GMC. It's now time for the Manatee County Fair pregame show. Well, gentlemen, we're live broadcasting from Hawkins Stadiums in Bradenton, Florida. Tonight, your Palmetto Tigers have made that short hop across the Manatee River to face the Manatee Hurricanes. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brian Varnador, and I'm joined tonight by my broadcast partners, Mr. Rick Wells, Ken Burton Jr., along with sideline reporter Tom Porter, and we welcome the #1 internet live stream fans in the world to the Cross-River Rivalry, as seen here on TigerVision, presented by Conley Buick GMC. Tonight, during the heart of the tropical storm season here in Palmetto, the Palmetto Tigers couldn't pick a better choice tonight as we match up against the Manatee Hurricanes. Here on the sun coast of Florida, we are the lightning capital of the world, and the pregame atmosphere tonight, fellas, at Hawkins Stadiums, it's matching our lightning-filled weather as it's electric and crazy out here tonight. With that being said, I'm going to turn it over to my broadcast partners, Mr. Rick Wells, for his thoughts. Rick?
Well, welcome to another exciting Friday night, guys, and we know that it's going to be electric, Brian. We are going to have a showdown of like we haven't seen in a while. We know that Manatee is hungry. We know that after being defeated by the Tigers last year, they were not very happy with giving up that streak of 22 years or something close to that, Kenny. But what I look forward tonight is for our players to come out here and really not be concerned about who they're playing. It's playing Tiger football and doing what we know we have to do to win against any opponent. The defense has been dynamic, to say the least. I look for them to continue to be quick off the line tonight. They're going to have to be disruptive. They're going to have to swarm to the ball. As we know, we have some athletes on the other side of on the Manatee side, and they're really going to have to do everything they can to contain those playmakers. Offensively, I would really love to see us get started a little early, Kenny. I would love for us to get out here on that first drive and get that ball in the end zone. We talked about it last week. We've been notorious for the last couple of years of just kind of starting slow offensively. We sputtered a little bit last week. We were able to recover that fumbled punt, and from that point on, the offense they were unstoppable. So hopefully we can get started early. The defenses, they have their hands full. I think we all know that this is not Southeast. There are a lot of athletes over here. These kids know each other from Papa Warner and 7-on-7 football. So we are probably the only nervous ones on the field. These kids are not nervous. These kids on the Tiger side, they expect to win this ball game. They know what they're capable of doing, and they just got to perform. They got to keep the mental mistakes to a minimum, and we got to secure the football, guys.
Yeah, I think you're spot on, Rick. There's a lot of tradition around here. I think Manatee High School is the #1 winning program in the state of Florida. When you look at like the most wins at a high school, they played one of the longest. I think it's been since 1915 or whatever. But very storied. They've won multiple state championships and yeah, that streak that they had that they're probably a little sore about was for about 12 years, and I forget how many days it was, 4,725. Well, the streak right now is sitting at about 363 in our favor, and my concern is the same as yours, Rick, because this has become the big rival game. A lot of these kids it's probably more like a Florida State family where you've got a parent or a guardian that went to one high school and another one went to Manatee or Palmetto, the other one, and then you got family members all scattered. And then you read about it in the social media, and so you got to block all that out, and it still comes down to blocking and tackling and executing, and like you have said, and Brian, in the last couple of weeks, we just need to worry about what we do, and make the plays and execute the game plan, and they start out a little quicker. This Manatee bunch, Brian and I were talking a little. We watched the Lakeland game last week. They're a good football team. They have played 2 playoff opponents. They beat North Miami, which is an 8A school that came here for their preseason game. It was a close one, and then the Lakeland game. Lakeland is the equivalent of about playing Palmetto, as far as if you look at how they rank them on all the polls. And Lakeland, it was 14-0 at half, and then they were trading touchdowns before Lakeland finally pulled away, but they just kind of wore them down, and that's what we need to do tonight.
And the point that you made, Rick, earlier, and I agree with you, Ken, was the turnovers here. It has been raining, torrential rains here this afternoon, and you always worry about the turnover thing or the field condition being sloppy, but the field condition tonight here at Manatee High looks beautiful out there. The field's nice and dry, and over the course of a season, I think Palmetto has done such a good job forcing, fumbles in that first game. 5 fumbles forced, and then an interception. And in the next game, 2 fumbles on kickoff returns that were forced. And then, and over the course of a season, those things have a way of evening out. You're not going to be plus 11 in the turnover margin forever. And you just hope that, and my fear is that let's not have it even out tonight. Let's keep the trend going and forcing turnovers. Now, I want to talk about the dynamic players that I've seen out here from Manatee High School. I was looking at the freshmen out there. They have a freshman running back, number 30, Kyrie Jones. He's 5'9", 230 pounds. And in that Lakeland game, I was watching that, and he got behind the safety. The safety was chasing, trying to strip the ball. And here's a safety for Lakeland that has a lot of speedy players out there. And he absolutely outran him at 230 pounds. He was able to run away from the secondary, and that's a big concern I see tonight. It's a freshman out there. Last week, the week before, he didn't have all the plays figured out, but man, when he toted the rock, he looked a lot like Adam Lane, who I watched live at the Birmingham Bowl. He's got that kind of size. He's small and he's large. He looks like one of those Arkansas running backs. And then also you have Keon Fordham out there, who's Mr. Wonderful. If you could clone 6 of those guys and put them on both sides of the ball, you would, because Keon Fordham, you'll see him tonight playing wide receiver. We know he can play quarterback, and we also see him back in the punting duties. And really the difference in the game last year has nothing to do with tonight, but the difference in the game last year was really field position in the first half. Manatee had a negative 8-yard punt, about a 19-yard punt, and an 11-yard punt in that first half of the game. And that's not something you're going to see tonight with Keon Fordham punting the ball. And the other thing that we saw out of Keon Fordham, and you have to protect, if it's 3rd and 1 and you're punting from the 41, 42-yard line in the opposition territory, he's a rugby-style kicker with about 4.5, 4.4 speed, and he's the kind of guy that can take that. If you don't protect on the punt, he will run the edge and pick up that first down or even take it to the house.
Yeah, if you remember last year, guys, Keon scored the only points that Manatee had, and that was the kickoff return. And it happened actually on Saturday after the rain out at halftime on the Friday night. Yeah, this is not the same team for the Hurricanes. This is not the 2017 team. They are a much improved squad over here, but the Tigers are much improved as well. A lot of young talent on both teams that expect to win, that are used to winning, and there is a Palmetto connection here with Manatee. If last year Quay Davis was a DB here for the Tigers. He played JV, and he also played some varsity. His brother EJ, as we all know, was the driving force and the winning touchdown in our playoff game.
That's right.
Quay made the decision to come to Manatee. We also had Gian Buchanan. He's another corner. He was with us last year. He's going to be starting tonight for Manatee. So, there's still a lot of Palmetto history here. Manatee has been notorious for having some great athletes from north of the river on their team, and they've got some tonight. So we just got to make sure that we do our job, and we can talk about this all night. We got to do what we know, and that is defensively we got to swarm, and we got to take Keon down, all 11 of us.
Yeah, a dynamic player in Keon Fordham. The Manatee High Band has taken the field here for pre-game festivities. I'm not sure. I don't see the flags out here tonight or the guard. Looks like we're about to have the national anthem. And anytime the guys here in the box, one thing very important to our hearts, when that flag flies over here to the stadium, we're going to remove our hats and we're going to be quiet and listen respectfully to the national anthem. So the color guard's about to come onto the field. But really, Rick and Ken, I'm looking forward to an exciting night of football. One thing, with all the videos and all the excitement that's out there, it's nice just to have a game in between the lines, and the football games are always won on the field.
You're absolutely right. You can game plan. You can talk social media. You can family, everything, but it still comes down to what's in front of us, and 48 minutes over 4 quarters.
Yeah, we do have to give a lot of credit to the grounds crew out here. They had a JV game here last night on top of everything else.
Really?
So the JV played on a wet field. As we know, it's been raining every single afternoon for the last week and a half here in Manatee County. And if you were on that field, you could not tell that there was a game played here last night. So, one thing that I don't think I've ever noticed before, guys, is really how close the sidelines are to the playing field. If you look over there on the Manatee side, there's not much distance between the out of bounds line and that fence, and they got two tents set up over there, which just have never noticed that we don't have a lot of room over here, and you got to be careful of that. That could really cause an injury.
Yeah,
I'm just thinking about Pop Warner days on how they would not allow us to put a tent anywhere near the sidelines, no matter how hot it was. You had to just suck it up, and that's just really, I mean, that's only just a couple yards off of the out of bounds line there.
And this place used not to have the fence here, and I think I was one of the guys. I did hit that track out there running off the sideline.
Yes.
And when your cleats hit a track, I remember this place, several people would hit the track over there, which is directly behind that fence, and you know, the cleats would come out from underneath you. But they do have the fence around the field, and it's very tight quarters here at Hawkins Stadium.
Yeah, I did my kicker walkthrough before the game, and unbelievable when they told us they had played a JV game here tonight. I thought, well, it sure does look great now, but after tonight, it's going to be in pretty sad shape. But I go out and check the 10-yard line where you kick the field goal, extra point. Usually that's a worn spot or where they snap it a lot, middle of the field, and the field is in excellent shape.
So in the conditions here tonight, at the moment, we don't think that it's going to be a factor. Kind of a slight wind, 5 to 7 miles per hour. Very comfortable conditions. Very unusually cool here tonight. You know, the thermometer is slightly below 80 degrees, and generally we're up there pushing 93, 94 at this point, you know, as the kickoffs start. So it's going to be a very comfortable night for football, which really, you know, will have an effect on the fourth quarter. One thing you see when you're covering these games here in Florida, even with the water breaks, you know, the cramping issues come here. Now, what we'll see that we haven't seen as your Palmetto Tigers, the other teams that we've played have been playing fellas both ways on both sides of the offensive and defensive line. And the Palmetto team, you know, everybody specialized. You're on offense, you're on defense, and that's made a huge quarter in the second half. You know, for Palmetto, it's been very favorable. That will not be a factor tonight here. The Manatee players, you know, there's not a ton of people playing both ways. And with the weather conditions tonight, we'll see a lot of the cramping issues that a lot of times are prevalent here in Florida.
Well, it's still kind of humid out
there.
It's very humid,
yes.
What we've noticed, you know, during the Booker game, several players were dealing with cramps and had to come off the field. And Coach Marino, the entire coaching staff, they preach, you know, staying hydrated all day, and you can't start drinking water at 6 o'clock and think that's going to help you. So I know the kids have been doing a better job of that, and we didn't see any cramping that I know of last week against Southeast. So I know that, you know, my son, he takes a gallon jug to school now, and he drinks that throughout the day, and a lot of the players do that. So really just got to stay hydrated and stay healthy, because we're going to need all of our players for this entire 48 minutes. This is going to be a battle for 4 quarters. We know that.
Did any of y'all ever do the pickle juice?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That one works.
Tyler wasn't real pleased with that comment. He didn't see that being a remedy, even though I tried to explain to him that's the old school remedy that works.
Mm-hmm.
I remember looking in the refrigerator at home, and those pickles would be just dry as can be because, you know, we raid that. It got to where we actually enjoyed it. So now here the honor guard is approaching the field here. We're going to pause a moment in the presentation here, stand, remove our hats, and have the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remove your hats, stand while we honor our school and country with the Manatee High School Marching Band's rendition of our alma mater and national anthem. The alma mater will be sung by Josephine Spade. The national anthem will be sung by Megan Shoemaker.
6 minutes and 10 seconds before kickoff here. You know, tonight, looking at the matchups, last night I was watching Purdue play a game which they trailed 31-17, and if you were wondering what the Palmetto High offense looks like, it was like a carbon copy. I thought I was watching Ty Stoltz, you know, running the Palmetto offense out there, because, you know, they would go with 4 receivers out there in the pattern, and they'd either start out with 3 receivers on one side, 1 single in coverage, and then, you know, jet sweep action, those kind of things, or 2 receivers on both sides. So, you know, you'll see Palmetto Tigers tonight employ a lot of one-back sets, eventually throwing some different wrinkles in there with maybe a fullback in front. Now, we've seen Manatee on offense. They showed the power I formation, very throwback. But you have Anthony Squitero there. Squitero is a quarterback from Manatee. He's a transfer from Port Charlotte, if that's my memory. And he's used to being able to make a lot of quick exchanges, very solid with the ball, good feet, field manager out there. And so he's able to make those, you know, fake handoffs and things. He's been running a complex, you know, wing T offense where you have to be a magician back there. So we've seen that Squitero, he's very capable of making clean exchanges and running the Manatee offense. And again, that back, the freshman there at 230 pounds tonight, it's going to be critical that this Palmetto's defensive line is small in general, but very fast, and they play downhill. An interesting matchup will be the 370-pound offensive guard for Manatee, and our defensive tackles in this Palmetto game, you know, with Bembry and Wyatt. And really, size-wise, there was the emergence of Floyd Dozier Jr. last week. You know, he's a 270-pounder. And we're going to try to catch Tom Porter now from the sideline reporter.
Hey, Tiger fans, here with Coach Marino. Coach, obviously a great win last week against Southeast. Talk about that defense and what a great job they did stopping that Southeast offense last week.
Well, not just our defense, but our special teams. You know, that was a big big play when we punted and you know, got that ball right back and gave us a good field position, and offense took advantage of that second drive. You know, and then all night long it was special teams was the difference. And then obviously defensively they did do a great job. But, you know, special teams really made some great plays and gave us the ball and got us some turnovers in good position. And defense did as well. So, you know, we're hoping we can, you know, play good, sound, fundamental football, schematically sound, get in the right spots and make plays again.
Great execution all last game. How did that carry over into practice this week? Was it a good practice? You guys have a good focused practice in preparation for Manatee?
Yeah, I mean, the beauty of our schedule is every week is a heavyweight fight, you know, so every game's a big game. So, you know, as soon as it was over, we were focused on Manatee, and it'll be the same thing tonight. We have to be 100% focused here, and when it's over, and we got to get ready for another one next week.
You're facing a second-year coach across the way here. Everybody's saying that Manatee has come around this year, that they're a much better football team. Have we done anything to change our scheme, or are we just going to stick with what we know?
Well, you got to go with what you do, and you know, you put your kids in the best position possible to be successful, and that's what we're going to do. And they're always good. It's not like they weren't a down year last year. I mean, they had the same kids back from last year that started as juniors, better Division I players, and so, you know, we're going to go out there and compete like we did last year.
Good luck in the first half, Coach. Tiger fans, this is the freshman class that went undefeated 4 years ago. Just really obliterated everybody on that level, and they've been able to maintain that nucleus of players for the last 3 or 4 years here. So that's what we're expecting to see, such good things from this group. Also the weather, you know, earlier today it looked like it was going to be pretty rough. We've got a little sprinkling going on here, but from what I've been told, the radar has cleared up pretty good, and we should be good for a clean, hopefully dry first half. Back to you guys.
As always, Tom Porter, a great delivery. And speaking of great delivery, our good sponsors, Rico Pizzeria and Pasta House. Rico's now with a Palmetto location on 8th Avenue. Now the captains were out on the field. We had Reese Lyons out there. We had Brandon Waiters was out there. Anthony Marino out there. And the Tigers will be receiving the kick. So now as the Palmetto Tigers prepare to clear the fog out there, one thing I like to watch is number 10, Mike Goff, the dynamic safety. You know, he's pretty special coming out of the smoke here, as his tradition. He does some crazy thing. Here come Mike Goff coming through the smoke here, and there he is. He does his flip, round off, and sticks it cleanly. So Mike Goff has got those Palmetto Tigers excited tonight, and we will receive the ball. Back to receive the kick is going to be LaJonte Wester, most probably. Sajal Hickson we've seen, but we'll see how things line up. But
yeah, Rick, in my pregame study, this group of kids have never lost to Manatee.
No, they have not.
That's what I thought.
They have not, and we talk about this from time to time. But it's a special group of kids who have stayed together. They have never ventured off they've never wanted to go anywhere else but Palmetto. They stayed together in Pop Warner. They came up here. They're proud to be a Tiger, and they know how to win, and that's really all they care about is winning. And just another side note, the quarterback for Palmetto, or for the Hurricanes, is actually Sateri is actually the starting JV quarterback for the Tigers 2 years ago. He left Palmetto and went to Charlotte before his junior year. So I think he started with Outdoor Academy. He came to Palmetto, he left and went to Charlotte, and now he's here with Manatee.
Wow.
And that's all perfectly legal today. You can transfer semester to semester.
And, looking at that, the offense, those are he's got to be a very bright young man, because he's running four different packages in 4 years. That Squateri, very, very good field manager, very good hands. But now
he's a good runner too, and he decent arm.
Now we're going to kick things off here, and that's going to be Axel Lefro kicking off, and get a kick out of great service out of DeVito's Auto Repair, located in Ellington. For quality auto repair, visit Tom, John, DeVito, Vincent, and the crew there, serving satisfied customers since 1978. Well, you can feel the excitement in the air tonight out there on the kick coverage unit. We are in the kick return unit. We have Derek Marino up there short. Don't expect to see anything trick. And back there receiving this one, we have number 2 back there, which is Corian Brown, along with Day Hill back there in the back.
I believe that's, I don't.
Who do you?
Day and
who do you not kick into?
Day is not here tonight, y'all. Just to get that on the record.
Okay, all right. So there's the kick, a left-footed kick. It's going to be driven down to the 5-yard line, taken there by Brown. He's got the ball to the 20, up the middle of the field, takes a nice hit there, and a good return. Brings that up to about the 27-yard line.
So offensively, we've already talked about it tonight. We just want to get going quickly and try to put some points on the board early. And you never know what type of a shootout you may have with Manatee. So we want to get on that board as quickly as possible and get that momentum going our way, and just kind of pick up where we picked up from last week, guys. And we know what we can do. Sometimes we just kind of get off slow offensively, and we want to do that a little quicker tonight here.
So we've got Curtis Thomas out here with LaJonte, and we have Kobe, and there's the handoff, and he cuts the middle of the field, goes for about 1 yard gain right at the line of scrimmage there. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, just looking for some consistency. Let's just get that first down, and off to a good start.
Yeah, and defensively, I think that the Hurricanes kind of match up well with our defense. I mean, they're maybe undersized, but they're very quick, and they swarm to the ball as well.
3 receivers out there. Kobe Mays on this far sideline. Anthony Marino in the backfield. He's got Stinson in the back there blocking. There's Johnny Jones, and he runs for about a 4-yard gain. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 5. Let's check that spot over there. So it looks like it's about third and a long 4 or 5 yards.
Manatee will, watching them against Lakeland, they lined up in a 4-3, most of the time in a 4-3, but sometimes a 3-4.
All right, so this is the first series here. Palmetto Tigers want to keep this going. They have 3 receivers out there to the right, 1 single out here. Kobe Mays in coverage. They look for Kobe Mays initially. He's got him on the slam. Completion, first down, all the way to the 47-yard line, and that was like stealing. That was easy.
Yeah, I think that's going to be just the linebackers being slow on coverage, because on that play, number 22, Corey Davis, whatever package they're in, he has to let Kobe go. He has to take maybe an out route. but the linebacker didn't come over.
Watch Marino throw. He just throws a dart in there, just right in between.
Johnny Jones now takes this one very close to the first down marker. He's going to be a little bit short. Look at now down at Kobe Mays had his helmet pulled off down
and
there.
we get no flag.
In the secondary, no flag.
But let me tell you something. Don't you just love the way that Johnny Jones, he's such a power runner. He's so powerful that he's going to pick up two additional yards where you got red jerseys hanging all over him. Just a great runner. Love to watch him run.
Okay, second and short here for the Tigers. 3 receivers out there to the right, 1 single over here to the left. Marino checking off, changing things. Now we have the coaches on the field, and it's a timeout Manatee. So they burn one early here, something you never want to do with 10 minutes and 22 seconds on the clock on a second and half a yard.
So really impressed with the offensive line already here tonight. They're getting off the ball quick, Kenny, and they are right now they're pushing that D-line from Manatee back and giving those our backs, Johnny, right now, giving Johnny an opportunity to find a seam and get in there and pick up some yards.
Yes, absolutely. I was watching Manatee play. I thought, wow, we're going to have our hands full, but the start we were hoping for, we're seeing. We got to finish this out, and Johnny Jones is running his aggressive self, hitting that hole, and I like how he runs north-south and gets there real quick.
Yeah, very similar looking defensive line here for the Hurricanes. Not that big. They do have number 99, Ryan Ives, 6'5", 265 pounds. And then Donovan Osborne, he's the nose tackle, number 44. He's a player. You'll see him at defensive tackle and also a long snapper here for the Hurricanes. And Ethan Waltz out there. Smaller looking linebackers, fast, tall secondary. So the Palmetto Tigers have it second and about a half yard, 10 minutes and 22 seconds remaining here on the first quarter. Marino takes. Butler lines up in the backfield, and they fake it to him. Now he's looking for the long ball, and that's holding on the defensive back, no call.
Wow.
So, you know, Kobe Mays came off the line. He squatted like a button hook and then took off on a go route. The defensive back was holding onto his jersey about a foot away from his – and no call on the play.
Let's see if we can pick it up here on the instant replay.
See if we can catch this. Marino throws the long ball. We're not going to pick that one up. But right before that, as he made the break, good call there. And really should have been
the call that, yeah, 2nd and 1. Let's air it out.
Oh, look at this. Big run. Johnny Jones, 40 and down to the 38. We're going to get a holding call late.
Call on big number 75, Lee Matthews, I believe. He threw it right in his vicinity.
You hate to see that on a play that had cleared 3rd and inches there. Goes for the first down, but the holding call is going to bring us back, so it should bring up about a 3rd, and I would say about 8 yards because it's from the spot of the foul. Let's see.
This will be our first true test here on this series.
Yeah, and hopefully we can come up with some play here and pick up that first down again. We just got to be a little bit more focused on not committing those penalties especially when the play's already far from us. But Lee I want him on that line. I want him to be aggressive.
Look at Butler out there, number 6. He's going to be covered by a very big safety out there, but it's a handoff Johnny Jones, and he goes for really no gain on the play, about 2 yards. So that brings up a 4th down.
Okay, we're on the 50-yard line. It looks like it's going to be 4th and 5. He's sending the punting unit out.
Yeah.
Going to play field position.
So
here.
Derek Marino, the defensive back that is now, he's a possession receiver last year. Derek Marino back there to punt this one away, and back there to receive this one. It's not Keon Fordham.
Number 10.
Okay, so number 10.
No, I'm guessing, Brian.
Yes.
I saw him win the warm-ups.
So there's the kick. He gets a nice kick. Way to go. There's a fair catch called, and it's caught at the 4-yard line. Great kick by Derek Marino.
There's a flag, and that's a good flag. That was that's going to be a personal foul, number 43 for Manatee, and that's going to be Joseph Liu. And he took a little cheap shot at our player, number 28, Braden Nichols. Yeah. So that's going to be a good. Oh, we're getting 2 of them? Okay, well.
Okay.
Excuse me, Mr. Rep, but I only saw 1 cheap shot.
Marino, Derek just hammered. That's the best punt he's had all year, and turned that thing over. Had a nice 4-second hang time, but and moved the defender back. No chance to return. And we got them on the 5-yard line. Great plays for our defense to do their thing here, guys.
All right, Squateri's going to, no, that's Fordham back there in the backfield, and he has 2 back there with him, and he's got number 2 back there, which is Napoleon Harris in the backfield. 2 receivers out wide to the left. Fordham always a threat to run around the edge. And he hands the ball off, and there's going to be a great tackle. Tigers swarming all over the place, and that's captain for tonight's game, number 23, Brandon Waiters.
Yeah, good job by Brandon. That's what we're going to have to do all night, and this is something that they practice every single day is the entire defensive unit, no matter where you're at, swarming to the ball, because you never know what's going to happen.
And this is the first time we've seen Fordham take a snap. I don't think I know in the Lakeland game, he did not take a snap. We saw the other guys, so they're pulling out all their tricks tonight.
Again, they have 73 Derek Maurice out there at right guard. He's a 6'3", 264-pound sophomore. Waiters creeping up. Now the ball goes inside. Big hole. He's got a lot of running room, and he's going down the sideline. It's Harris. He's at the 40. He's at the 50. It's at the 40. Running to the 10. 5. Touchdown, Manatee Napoleon Harris. So
just a breakdown in the defense there, and
if we can go back there, we're going to see just a huge gap, and so someone got out of position.
At the very beginning, there was a hole there. I could have run through, and you got to play assignment with this stuff, and so let's see what happens. A great call, and unfortunate.
So here, with 8 minutes and 27 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, the Hurricanes have taken the 6-0 lead. Now they're going to bring out the kicker, Lafro, actually coming out in a 2-point conversion swinging gate, and now it is going to be Lafro taking this. And Palmetto overloading left side. Snap is good, and there's a whistle on the field. We had some movement along the line, so it's going to be offsides on Palmetto. So that's going to be half the distance of the goal there. So Manatee's going to have this chip shot of an extra point here. So the penalty was declined.
Yeah, it makes no difference if it's a 17-yarder or a 20-yarder.
This one should be easy. The snap's good, kicks up, and it's good. So the Manatee Hurricanes lead the Cross-River Rivalry. 8 minutes and 27 seconds remaining in the first, 7-0.
And this is what you didn't want to happen. I mean, we started off with a drive and had to punt, pinned them back. We switched the field on them, and we go 95 yards.
Yeah, so we just got to regroup here and stay focused. We got a lot of game left here, and this is one thing that I do like about the players on this team is they don't get down and they don't start to pout about what just happened. So the big thing here now is that we've got to answer. We had a great opportunity to at least get 3, if nothing else, and we blew that on a holding call. But we've just got to come back out here and we just got to match them. We already talked about that. This is not going to be a blowout. This is not going to be easy. So playmakers got to make plays, guys.
And one thing Lakeland did that made them successful, where they eventually pulled away. Every time Manatee scored, they returned the favor, and then they just couldn't keep up with them.
So now with the ball's going to be kicked off here in high school from the 40. LePrevost is going to kick this one, and backing to return back there we have, looks like Hickson and Brown are back there to receive this one.
It's a great opportunity now to return the favor.
Pro approaches, drives the ball. It's a long kick. That one's going to be close to the end zone. It's fielded there at fielded about a half yard deep in the end zone. Palmetto Tigers will take this one 1st and 10 from the 20.
So once again, offensively, you just got to come out, do your job. Offensive line, make those blocks. Let's get some momentum going back our way and not not stay focused on what just happened. We just got to come out here and if nothing else, just try to. I mean, we did change the field position, so we can't argue about that. We can't continue to start slow.
Hopefully, this will motivate the offense because the defense has been perfect these first 2 games and just had this miscue. Hopefully.
Kobe Mays out here single coverage, and Marino floats it out there. He's got a back, great move out there, and he goes for a 3-yard gain on the play.
I think that's going to be, was that Bubba? Yeah, that's going to be Bubba. And you can just tell by the way that he cuts and moves. That's Bubba Butler over there. And, I think the big thing is we can't be predictable. Not that we are. We just got, and we're going with a no huddle, so that's a good thing as well.
No huddle, 4-yard gain on play brings up a 2nd and 6 here. 8 minutes remaining on the clock. Marino scans the field. He's got Butler out here wide. Curtis Thomas. Now he hands the ball off. Sajel Hickson takes a big hit in the middle of the backfield and gets to the line of scrimmage. That's going to bring up another 3rd and 6 here for the Tigers.
So defensively, this is a young squad as well, and they're very quick. And I think, staying in that no huddle, just trying to keep them off balance here, but this is a 3rd down that we need to pick up.
Kobe Mays is out here wide. In coverage there, we have Quay Davis. Palmetto shifting pre-snap. Now 3 receivers out here. Butler on the slot, unguarded here, guarded by a linebacker. That's a matchup nightmare. Marino takes it, and nice catch there by Curtis Thomas, who continues to emerge here as a solid receiver.
That was great. I mean, he almost lost it there to the defender, was able to, grab it and bring it down and make just a great catch.
Let's watch the replay. Watch the receiver's hands. Bobbles the ball a little bit. Marino throws a dart.
Get a block out there. He gets that block, and that's Jonte Wester. And he goes, there's a late hit, and he's got him. That's going to be. The Palmetto Tigers are at the 50, and they're going to tack on 15 more personal foul Manatee.
That looked like number 23 from Manatee.
Eric Washington linebacker.
That came back in there late and put a cheap shot on Jonte, but that's good. I mean, that was a great play already, and pick up 15 on top of it.
Mike picked that up on the North Manatee Realty replay there. Palmetto Tigers now are going to drive forward, of course, accepting the penalty. And so now we're on the Palmetto side of the field here. Ball spotted at the 36-yard line. 6 minutes, 57 seconds remain. And there's your North Manatee Realty, and here comes the late hit. Boom. Right there, well after the play. Good call by the officiating crew. Marino takes it, and that's going to be Butler out there, shake and bake, and he gets the sideline. He's get to 20, and he's all the way down to the 9. There was a holding called out there.
Goodness.
Come on.
I tell you what,
they're throwing the flags.
We have definitely had some questionable calls already here tonight. Because I wasn't really convinced on Matthew's holding call. It looked like he just mauled him, but it was a good block. And now we've got a hold on one of the receivers out there.
Yeah, not involved in the play whatsoever, but you could see the shiftiness of Dravian Butler out there. A nightmare of a match out. Good play call by the Palmetto Tigers, but backing up once again.
Watch
It's going to be the block in the back on the RPO.
1, 2. Outruns this dude right here.
I don't see it. Do you see it?
No. Probably out of the camera.
So now 1st and 13 for the Tigers.
Which means it didn't matter.
Kobe Mays over here. Johnny Jones, middle of the field, and he gets a run of about 3 yards on the play. Coming up to make a nice tackle there, number 23, which is Eric Washington once again. 5'11", 189-pound linebacker. So 2nd and 8 here for your Palmetto Tigers. Kobe Mays out here wide with Jonte Wester. Little confusion in the Manatee secondary initially. And look for Wester over here. 2 receivers out there to the right. Marino looks, throws it down there, got a receiver, nice throw, beautiful catch, all the way down to the 5-yard line. That's Curtis Thomas. Once again, no, that's Butler. Butler's down there for a fine catch. And just a fine play.
That's one thing that you don't get to see a lot, but Bubba is a great receiver from the slot out of the backfield.
Palmetto knocking at the door. Superior Asphalt red zone. Johnny Jones has got it. He's very close. Touchdown. So your Palmetto Tigers.
That's a great way to answer, guys. You know, we just have to make sure that we continue to focus on what our job is. Right? We talk about it every night. Just get in there and don't get bitter and get upset about what took place the prior drive for Manatee. So just good job by the offense to come back here and answer the score.
What I liked about that is they hurried up and got to the line, called the play. He runs in untouched. Answered the call.
Now, Billy Pineda is going to come out and kick the extra point here. 5 minutes and 41 seconds here. And Billy's a relatively new kicker here. Spot's good, snap's good, kicks up, and it's good. So the Palmetto Tigers have knotted it up here in the Cross-River Rivalry. 5 minutes and 41 seconds remaining here in the first.
Critical. They needed to respond and came through and pretty quick. It was a quick drive.
And let's give Anthony Marino a lot of credit. Just spot on with his passing.
Hey guys, I'll tell you who else needs to get the credit is Coach Marino calling those plays across the middle. They've obviously found a weakness in that Manatee secondary. Those quick outs are opening up that middle, and every time Anthony's putting that ball on the money and they're taking it to the house or they're getting a large chunk of yardage. That's something that's been missing from this offense for the last couple of years, and now they're able to dial it in, and man, what a great drive that was to answer.
Yeah, and then the kick by Pineda there. And, speaking of kicks, get a kick out of great service and DeVito's Auto Repair located in Ellington. And I want to tell you, I happened to be there a week or two ago, and they had some kind of windshield wiper deal, and I have terrible windshield wipers on my car. And so I thought, man, I'm going to take advantage of that. And then Wednesday, I'm driving back from Inverness, Florida on I-75, and cars are pulled over. Everybody's got their hazard lights on. There's cars wiped out in the medians, and I literally was thanking God that I had made that stop over at DeVito's. They replaced the pump on my windows there and fixed that, and you don't think that's a big deal, but when you're driving in Florida in a terrible situation like that, I just wanted to personally thank those guys over there. They were talking about that was a special they were running that week. I, took advantage of that, and I felt Wednesday that these guys are saving my life once again. So love the guys at DeVito's Auto Repair. Get a great kick out of good service, and we're getting a kick out of this game here. Manatee has a big play coming off the 5-yard line of a 95-yard run, and then Palmetto shows composure, and then a beautiful route and play call there. And really you can see that no quit in the Tigers. They didn't freak out. They came out very composed and marched right down the field and to knot this one up with 5 minutes, 41 seconds here.
Yeah, especially after a very questionable holding call, blocking the back or whatever they call that, because I still haven't seen it on replay. So, they came back, didn't let it bother them, and, went and scored a touchdown.
They just went about their business. I'm anxious to see how our defense is going to respond. That 95-yard run, I don't think they've given up 95 yards in each of the games for the total. Yeah, so so we'll see if how anxious they're going to be to make up for that.
Now Rafael Gonzalez, he's been injured for the last few weeks, guys. He's going to kick the ball off here, and we have
a delay of game.
So we have a delay of game, and we've seen Gonzalez has a very strong leg, but that's going to back him up 5 yards. And so very interesting situation here. The very dangerous return game out of these Manatee Hurricanes. We'll see tonight that there are some speed burners out there on the return unit. This is going to be a critical play at this point of the game. So Palmetto Tigers are kicking this one from the 35-yard line, so kicking it from the college position on the field. Let's see the approach that Coach Robbie Stevenson has here. And what it is, it's a high kick, and it's a short kick. A pooch trying to find a hole in the middle of the coverage. They call it fair catch. Ball's at the 28.
And just, guys, that's
I love it.
That's planned.
That was planned.
Yeah, that's planned. And they're going to try their best to keep it out of Fordham's hands, so they know where the playmaker is. They don't want to give him another opportunity to run a kickoff back. So this is Manatee may try to counter that, later on. But
well,
that's what they're going.
They did, Rick. Fordham was they kind of had the center open, and I know they were going to pooch it in there, but Fordham was right there in the middle, so they knew something was up.
And Iron Jackson fielded that, number 10 on Manatee. He's a dynamic playmaker also. Now he's in motion, and he's going to be it was a nice fake up there, big hit by Brandon, and that goes for a 2-yard gain. So good fake on the play, but good defense by the center of the Tiger line, and about a 2.5-yard gain.
So really, I just want to see the Tiger defense just continue to be aggressive here and just kind of force their will here on this offensive Manatee and let them experience what they're all about. Because right now I think they're still trying to figure out this O-line and trying to figure out this this offensive Manatee.
Yeah, Floyd Dozier is now in the middle of the field at D tackle along with Wyatt, and now Fordham's going to take this one out of the shotgun, and there's going to be a false start there on the offensive line. That's going to back him up 5 yards.
It's like it was the left tackle jumping a little bit.
So that's now brings up a very long second down, 2nd and 13 for the Canes. Fordham's going to take this one out of the shotgun. One big back there, fakes it. Now he's trying to get that edge, dumps it off, and he's going to be caught, but only for about a 3-yard gain. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 9.
Yeah, and good job by Brandon Waiters. He was Johnny on the spot. He had his assignment, and he was right there to make a play in case there was a clean catch. So, this is something that I'm able to witness when I'm able to look at the practices of the Tiger D and how they focus so much on their on their job, and those linebackers play a big role here, and they've got to cover some very fast backs and and slot receivers at times across that middle.
Wes Coleman's out here wide. I like the look of that fine receiver from Manatee, and in the backfield is big number 30 Kyrie Jones, and it's going to be Fordham looking now. He's trying to cut it up, quarterback draw, and he's going to be tackled there by Marino. So he's coming up 2 yards short. Good play by Derek Marino to come up and force. That's a big play.
Yeah, that was a huge stop. I was hoping he would throw the ball. I want Fordham to beat us throwing the ball, because I know that's not his strength, and took it up and just keep him in front of that first down marker, and we got the 3 and out we needed.
Dozier hustling off the field, 11 here for the Tigers, and the play's blown live. And now Fordham's going to go back there and punt this one, rugby-style kick, and he hits a low one in middle of the field. Good kick there, good strategy, and Tigers touched it, and Manatee's got it. Let's see. So Palmetto, got a very fortunate break there. Very fortunate break. Looked to me like one of the Palmetto Tigers got blocked into the path of the ball there.
The ball had already settled, and that was a good job by the referee.
Watching the replay here, yeah, you got to get away from it. He doesn't see it, but right here, you just
okay, so the Manatee player actually nudged it a little bit toward into the Palmetto player. Good call there by the officiating crew. Scary play. You got to get away from the ball.
Your returner needs to be yelling, get away, and where it's coming to give those guys, because they don't know.
Right, exactly right, Kenny. I mean, you got to talk out there, and that is their job.
Mm-hmm. Now single high safety. Dre Evans is back there in single high safety coverage. Marino looks for long ball again, and he's throwing it to Kobe Mays. He's tackled. There's a pass interference call. So good play by Kobe Mays. He showed good body position and forced the DB there to make have to hold on.
Yeah, that happened right out here in front of us. It was so obvious.
You just hope that everyone saw it, but that's the kind of play that Kobe he draws that attention, because he is so tall. He has great leaping ability, and that's Quade Davis over there just trying to push him out of bounds. And
when you have a single high safety on that side of the field, the single high safety can't make it to the boundary, so you have your receiver isolated on the sideline. The safety will not be able to come into play, so it's going to be man on man over there. And we've seen Kobe Mays.
We have a personal foul that was that they accepted instead of the pass interference. So something must have.
It had to be a roughing the passer or something after the play for that.
Or maybe they roughed Kobe on the sideline. Not really sure what happened there, Brian.
I'm not sure. Roughing the passer.
The defensive back played at Palmetto before, correct? Maybe he knew that was his only option, because they probably had some battles.
Guys, that was roughing the passer, by the way.
Okay,
Johnny on the spot down
good
there.
call, Tom Porter. Great delivery. Sponsored by Rico's. Now Marino takes it middle of the field. Great route again. Good catch, Jonte Wester. Stiff arm, gets to the sideline, dragging the defender all the way to the 20-yard line.
Well, Kenny, going back to what you said earlier, they have obviously found a weakness in the secondary here of Manatee, because they are going pass here, and they're really catching the defense off guard and on their heels. So just a great job by Marino and our skilled players.
Marino is just throwing it with some confidence there. I'm so impressed with his throwing tonight.
Now Superior Asphalt red zone. Marino keeps it. Middle of the field, takes a nice cut. Going forward, first down and more all the way down. Now the ball's on the ground. Marino scrambling for it. Looks like he's got it. Palmetto Tigers in the scrum. And it's going to be
second down. Or
first down.
First down. He held up 2 fingers, but, you know, hey,
Yeah.
It was a very complicated play.
And, you know, on that last completion, another big air completion there, Spartan Air Services. But watch Marino on this
his
one.
Footwork on here. He's getting around here pretty good.
Nice.
He doesn't run a 4-5 or anything, but he's just good enough to keep the defense honest.
Johnny Jones takes it, and really good defensive line play there by the Hurricanes, so very little gain on the play. So that's going to bring up a second and goal here for your Tigers.
So I really think that we've got to attack the perimeter here, the ends here of Manatee, because they're expecting us to run right up the gut. Anything on the outside, guys, we're gonna score.
Now Marino under center, Johnny Jones in the back, goal line offense look. They pitch it wide, and that's going to be Wester. He's going to take it all the way. It's an exciting no gain as you'll ever see.
That looks like Peter Warwick out there back when he played for Southeast. Oh, my goodness.
And I'm going to figure it out, and we might have to have a Twitter feed. You know, what do you want to call the dynamic combination of Butler and Wester? Is it the electric company? Is it shake and bake? I mean, those guys have great moves, but now it's a 3rd and 5 for your Palmetto Tigers in the Superior Asphalt red zone. 2 receivers out here. We have Curtis Thomas out there with LeJonte Wester on the right and Kobe Mays on the left. Now Johnny Jones, he's going to, very close. He's down to the 2-yard line on the play. Interesting play call coming here for your Palmetto Tigers. Looks like we're going to go for it, Ken.
Yeah, I looked. I think they ran that play earlier where we had a holding call where a couple of guys just nicked him, or he was going to take it to the house. It's 4th and 2 here, gentlemen.
Yeah, that was a great touchdown saving tackle there by the DN from Manatee. So, you know, hey, when you're playing a team of this caliber, you got to take a shot every once in a while.
So knocking on the door here on the 2-yard line, 4th. Watch for Marino trying to draw him off sides. Hands it off Johnny Jones. Big tackle there. Johnny Jones going to be tackled short, and a great defensive play there by number 99, Ryan Ives. That's your 270-pound
that's a
defensive
big boy
tackle.
there. He made a great play. He saved the touchdown.
All right, so what you want to pick up here, Palmetto Tiger fans, here's some of the things to look for. Now, take it down to Tom Porter.
I was just going to jump in there on the anytime the offensive line tries to cut the defensive line down at the knees, try to take them out and knock them down so they can get through. If you make a mistake and you miss, that's what happens. 99 just wrapping up.
Thank you for that Rico's delivery. Tom Porter, now Squitieri takes in the backfield in the end zone. He's handed off to the big back out there, and he's going to be tackled, knifing in there, making a fine play. So that's going to go for about a 2-yard. Gives him a little bit of breathing room coming off that goal line. Now, Palmetto Tiger fans, things to look for here. You want to crash. You want to bring the D in. You want to have one of those offensive linemen hold in the end zone to pick up that safety. That's the thing that you look for. But, you know, as we've seen Manatee coming out of this, you want to play discipline and you want to play sound. You don't want to get too aggressive and have a long run pop out of here. Now that big back is back there, and that's Kyrie Jones, 230 pounds, single in the backfield with Squitieri. Fake the handoff. Squitieri rolls, got a wide-open receiver out there. Good play design. Big hit there, but he picks up the first down, tackled at the 16-yard line.
Yeah, nice pitch and catch. Great call by the Manatee offensive coordinator to get them out of the end zone there to give them a little more breathing room. My goodness.
And Crawford comes up and makes a nice tackle on the play. But Manatee now got out of that tough situation. And so here at the end of the first quarter, let's take it to one of our sponsors.
Hi, this is Alan Conley.
And this is Chris Conley from Conley Buick GMC.
Home of the Lifetime Limited Powertrain Warranty.
Now, till September 4th, it's time to save on a new GMC.
Get up to $5,000 off a new Terrain Denali or SLT or a new Acadia SLT.
Save up to $7,000 on a new Yukon XL Denali, or Sierra HD.
So get down to Conley Buick GMC, Cortez Road West in Bradenton.
Visit ConleyBuickGMC.com.
Home of the Lifetime Limited Powertrain Warranty.
Only at Conley Buick GMC, where we treat you like family.
GMC, we are professional grade.
Thank you, Conley Buick. They are the name sponsor here of TigerVision, as seen, sponsored by Conley Buick GMC. Talking about the Conleys are all Manatee High people, but a great sponsor for your Tigers. Now Squateri's going to take this one. Ball has one back in the backfield with him, two receivers on each side. Hands the ball in the middle of the field, and Dozier's there to make a tap. Ball's out, and Manatee falls on that one. So that ball came out, but unfortunately recovered by Manatee.
I think the play was already dead, and the referee is marking it back there at the original spot. But defensively, we have Quan. We have Crawford in there tonight for Day here, y'all. That's our other corner out there with Ellison.
All right, so second and about 7. Squateri's going to take this one out of the shotgun. Fakes the handoff, rolls to the left, throwing across his body, middle of the field. Good throw to Fordham out there. Breaks the tackle, and he's at the 40, and he's going to be tackled at the 45. So Keon Fordham doing his thing.
Yeah, well, the critical thing here is that you can't just try to hit him at his knees. You got to wrap him up, and we know he's dynamic, and he's got great balance. He's very quick, as we know. You got to wrap him up and get him down, because he's just going to bounce off of you like a ping pong ball. I mean, look at him here. Yeah, right here, see? I mean, Mike Goff should have had him right there, and usually he's a sure tackler.
Got to hold on.
Great instant replay sponsored by North Manatee Realty. Now making a shift on the defense. Wyatt's in there along with Bembry, and Rumpf is out there at DN. Derek Marino creeping up, coming, and they throw it out there. Oh, wide open receiver. They had a nice play set up, but the ball was thrown high. And so that brings up a 2nd 10.
Well, yeah. Defensively, I know we have our package called for that, but we can't allow Fordham to be standing there by himself waiting for a pass. We just cannot. That's the one guy that you have to cover all the time.
Got to spy on him. He got to have something going on.
10-yard cushion with a blocker out in front. Scary play there for the Palmetto Tigers. Now Tariq Allen's out here wide in the wide receiver look. Squateri rolls to the right, and he's being chased there. Still looking, throws the ball down. Wide open receiver, great catch. And that's going to be number 10, Iron Jackson back there. First down, the Canes.
So we got to figure out why we've got wide open receivers here. I mean, this is miscommunication with the defense here. We've got corners out of place, but he's wide open here, and that's supposed to be, I guess, a linebacker on him. I'm not sure what package Coach Cucci had called at the time, but I don't know if you're going to be able to cover Iron with a linebacker. That's going to be almost impossible.
All right, we're going to have some first quarter stats here in a moment, but the Manatee Hurricanes have this one at the 41, 1st and 10. Squateri back in the shotgun. Eyes the field. Jackson in motion. Jet sweep fake, and Squateri takes it, big hit. Goes for about a 2-yard gain.
And that's a pretty good call, actually, because everybody's going to be keying on number 1. And Squateri gets in there and he doesn't pick up much, but I like the play call.
He's not a bad runner. He had a couple of good runs in the Lakeland game last week. He can take and go, and he throws the ball well. We saw him throw across his body. Did that in Lakeland, and I like him. He's a good quarterback.
Now it is 2nd and 8 here for Squateri. I think Napoleon Harris is in the backfield with him back here. Can't quite get a look at that. And there's Bembry blowing that one up, and that goes for no gain on the play. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 11 for the Canes.
Yeah, it sure is good to call his name. We haven't called it yet tonight, but Bembry just came through that O-line like a lightning bolt and just took that play. There he is. See, he is already in the backfield when he hands the ball off.
Plays like his big brother.
And as the game progresses here, with the rotation of Dozier on the defensive line, you can go with a smaller package, and the depth will be a problem here, hopefully. Now Manatee has it 3rd and 10, 3 receivers out here wide. Cushion over here. Squatteri's dropping, looking, wide open receiver, and that's going to be a great catch there.
Oh, he caught it. Wow.
And, that's one of those receivers that I was looking at him in film, and he looks really nice. That's Wes Coleman.
Yes, I agree.
He reminds me of Amendola or
possession.
The Renfro kid from
Clemson.
Just a possession receiver,
yes.
Good cuts.
Great hands.
Yep.
Probably not the fastest guy, but you can guarantee if it's close, he's going to catch it.
5'8", 155 pounds.
I mean, he picked that thing off the ground, but it was a great catch.
So now they got the big back in the backfield, Kyrie Jones, Palmetto Tiger defense. And, there's some movement there in the line. It's either going to be an offsides or a false start, and it is a false start. That's going to back the Canes up here. That's going to bring up a 1st and 15. 8 minutes and 28 seconds remain here in the second quarter. I did want to talk about, while the Conleys there, all Manatee High graduates here. And, I had a chance to go up to Ole Miss, and they also attended Ole Miss in '94, and people just treated us great. And after the play, I'll continue on with this. But this is a big point of the game, 1st and 15. Kyrie Jones in the backfield with Squateri. Fakes the handoff, rolls to his left, thrown across his body again, wide up receiving Fordham, and he does not break the tackle, but that's too easy.
That was Marino saved us a touchdown there.
Well, I mean, he just run he just run a crossing route here, and there's no one around him, and Mike has to come up.
It's
Mike
Goff. It was Goff. My bad.
And it's just somebody's out of position here, and I don't know who it is, but I know Coach Cucci knows exactly who was supposed to be there.
Generally, that's a tough throw to make. We've seen him make that throw twice, rolling to his left, throwing across his body. South Fordham's in motion. They hand it to him, looking for the edge out there. Got a blocker out in front. He's got the corner, 1st down and more, touchdown. Manatee Hurricanes.
And a flag.
Flag
over on the other side of the field. So holding, maybe they saw.
There's going to be holding or personal foul after the play there. So
it looks like they were holding number 21, John Wester, and the referee picked up on it.
That's probably how they got outside, but I love the play call. It was a student body right, basically, and you get it to your athlete.
Playmaker. That's right.
Yeah, he's an ATH on the program.
Yeah,
and he just let him do his thing, but somebody did a little bit too much.
Yeah, they just brought Wester in to replace Crawford on the left side of the line there at corner. So. Hey, we know what they have here. We just got to be able to get off those blocks and contain that edge.
Minimize
really,
we got to minimize that.
Really unnecessary with Keon Fordham back there. He's going to make that corner whether you hold the DB or not on that jet sweep action. Now he's got the big back in the backfield with him, and they fake the jet sweep, and there's some movement once again.
Coming from the back this time.
It's going to be coming from the back, Judge. Delay of game on the Cane, so that's a big one. Matt backs him up 5 yards, so that brings up a 1st and about 17 yards here.
So they've been moving down the field, and I think that's 3 penalties here in the last 4 plays or so.
All right, we're going to get to those first quarter statistics, but the game's moving at a very rapid pace here. Now 1st and 17, Squateri looks for, fakes the jet sweep. Now there you go, big play by Dozier.
That 10th grader.
Floyd Dozier Jr. I talked to Floyd Dozier Sr., and he said his good friend Garland Ward is watching from Jackson, Mississippi, but Jr. is out there making plays tonight.
Yeah, well, we called his name a bunch last week, and it's good to see him back out here tonight and making plays and helping this defense out, because that was a big play for us. We needed that, and we just got to keep pushing them back.
So big play for Floyd Dozier Jr. Manatee Squatera, 3 receivers out here to the left. Rolling to the left again, and he's going to be tackled there. Great play. Ball's out, but he's down. He's down.
That's going to be a horse collar.
Horse collar. And oh my goodness, I didn't think that he was inside there. I thought he had the edge of his shirt.
Look at the shoulder pad. It's pulled out on the outside, You know,
Watch the
watch the
quarterback.
replay here on North Manatee Realty.
Got to be on Secretary, I think.
Yeah, but look at the
Yeah.
shoulder pad. You know, it's hard. If you tackle the inside, the shoulder pad stays engaged. Look at it right there. So that's coming off the outside.
I mean, it's hard to tell from up here. I didn't think that as the play was live that he had gotten actually in the collar, that he was just hanging off the back of the top of his jersey.
He was just holding on to me. It's just unfortunate. So
There we go.
yeah,
There
they
we
waved
go.
that one off.
And
then,
you know what?
what?
Let me tell you something. You give them a lot of credit for getting together and making a good call. I mean, the referees really did a good job on that. I know that's a Tiger player, so I'm a little biased, but that was the right call.
And he did it in front of the Tiger fans.
So now at the water break, I wanted to get back to talk about those Conleys, our great sponsor. You know, one thing, the Palmetto Booster Club president, Bill Britt, and I went up to Ole Miss in 1994, and we made a trip up there, and I'm walking through, you know, I didn't know about the Grove and the Walk of Champions and all that, so I'm walking through the Grove, and I'm expecting, you know, I've been to every SEC stadium in places like Miami and, you know, Northwest Florida where they're not so nice. Bill and I are walking through there, and hey, do you guys like ribs? Do you guys like tea? You know, and it's sweet tea without asking. Every tent, they were being so kind to us. It was ridiculous. Now, I will tell you that the college game day experience at Ole Miss up there and with the Rebels.
In the Grove.
It's unbelievable how nice people. The meanest thing they would say to you would be hotty toddy. And one thing we found here in Manatee County, it's very unique. I've been down, you know, my parents have purchased a car, their vehicle from Conley Buick. Of course, Jordan has the big Yukon, which I feel great with my granddaughters riding around in that. But they say they treat you like family, but it's very similar to walking through the Grove on a Saturday night afternoon. The service that they give you and the kindness and the treatment, and, you know, actually treat you a little better than family sometime. Now Squateri's got this when he's dropped back to the 40. Oh, takes the middle field. He's got an open lane there, and he's going to run for a bunch, and he's going to still Palmetto in a safe coverage there. He's to the 21-yard line, Ken.
Yeah, 3rd and 24, there's not much you can do. And he had a lot of open field, but they were keeping him in everything in front of him. And so let's see what they do here on 4th.
I'm sure they're going to probably try to kick a field goal here. If I saw this young man kicking earlier, and he was kicking pretty good from this location. Now, you know, this hurts us not having Day-Day Hill. Day-Day practices on getting around that edge with his speed and blocking these field goals.
That is a skill to be able to do that.
40-yard attempt here by LaPro. The ball's a little bit low. He kicks it nice leg, and it is right down the middle. So big 40-yard kick with a lot to spare by LaPro, and the Manatee Hurricanes take a 10-7 lead. Now, Ken, let's get to those first quarter statistics here.
Okay, Manatee, first quarter, 5 rushes for 106 yards. That's a little deceiving because 95 was on one play, 2 of 2 passing. And how do I get the rest of them here? Does it open up?
Yep, should open up. Let me try that.
Oh, there they are. Good, thank you. 2 for 2 passing for 13 yards, 119 total yards. Of course, 95 on one play, so maybe like 24 yards or so. Palmetto 12 rushes for 45 yards, 6 of 7 passing. And we've been talking about Marino picking apart the middle of Manatee's defense for 84 yards for 129 yards. So it's very balanced, along with the score.
So great field goal kick there by LaFro, and he was kicking into a bit of a wind, so he showed a great leg on that 40-yard field goal. So with 6 minutes and 23 seconds remaining here in the second quarter, it looks a little dark out there on the field suddenly, but he's going to kick this one off. Rain is sprinkling now, and it's going to be fielded there at the 2-yard line, at the 10, at the 15, and he's going to shake the initial tackle, and that's Brown who gets it to the 19-yard line. So good coverage by the Manatee coverage unit.
So we definitely have to come out here once again offensively. You know, we had a great drive, that last drive, and we just couldn't punch it into the end zone. And, you know, Manatee comes back with a nice drive of their own and get 3 out of it. But, you know, good job by the defense of bending and not breaking. We were helped by several penalties there. and delay a game on the Manatee side. But we just got to come out here, continue to drive this ball downfield, but we got to pick up points.
All right, Tigers going to start this series on the 19-yard line. Marino has 3 receivers wide, fakes a handoff, throws a little, it's too low. Butler goes down and gets it somehow, and he gets a 2-yard gain out of the play.
Takes a hard hit on the end, but bounces right up. Well, that was a lick he took.
Everybody else, that would have been a loss because they wouldn't have caught that ball or they would have sustained the hit.
That's a 3-yard gain on a play that had no chance.
But right there, he makes it.
Great play by Butler. Now we have Curtis Thomas out here wide as a single, 3 receivers out there, and that's going to be a false start on Palmetto. So we have a false start that's going to back us up here, and so that's going to bring up a 3rd and long. Now, it's there's a little bit of a sprinkle going here, and it is getting darker here, so I don't know if there's rain in the area. And not outside to tell if the temperature's dropping here, but there may be rain on the horizon. Marino's going to take this one now, and the ball is back there at the 17-yard line. Manatee in a 3-man front, bringing the linebacker off the edge. Throws the long ball down there. It's Curtis Thomas, and he can't quite catch up with that one.
We have a flag
They're roughing
down there.
the passer down there in the backfield. And one of the things that I thought with Anthony Marino scoring, being involved in so many rushing touchdowns, passing touchdowns, tonight is a night where you really want to harass the quarterback. And, like on the quarterback sneaks, you might get a little extra emphasis. And so Manatee is really, putting – but they're paying a penalty for that. It's one thing to be able to discourage a quarterback or another one. They're not putting a bounty on Anthony Marino, but they're hitting him long after the pass was off.
So basically we got the equivalent of a completed pass. Not quite, but first down.
Kobe Mays out here wide, 3 receivers out there. Marino under center, hands the ball off there, and that's going to be Brown. He only goes for about a 1-yard gain on the play. We saw the Manatee defense last week get creased by an SEC-type back, and they're doing a much better job with the defensive unit out there tonight. Marino's going to take it out of the shotgun, 2 receivers both sides. And there is Brown. He takes a big hit, and he's down, and it's going to be a gain of about 1 yard on the play. Brings up another 3rd and 5 for this Palmetto Tiger offense.
Yeah, last week, Manatee, they were playing grown men out there. That Lakeland team is just huge, and they held their own for most of that game. So, we know that they have some great athletes on the defensive side, and they're showing it tonight. And they're just as quick as we are defensively, you can tell.
Yeah, the smaller defensive line, but speedy, and then rolling up a bunch of different linebackers, coming out. Now they're dropping in cover, and Marino looks middle of the field. Oh, and it's dropped by Jonte Wester. Kobe Mays open behind that for the first down, but checked down to Jonte Wester. Brings up a 4th down. Derek Marino is going to go back there and punt this one away.
Yeah, he catches that ball. He moves the chains easy.
And you know what? Jonte catches that ball 99.9% of the time, and he may have seen that DB coming up on him there at the last second. Who knows? But he just got through his hands.
So Nichols is going to snap this one back to Marino. He gets off another punt. Now this one's turning over, and Iron Jackson back there looking for the edge. And good play initially by Crawford. Didn't maintain his leverage. And
knock it loose.
And they get that ball. And now he's down. Pretty good coverage by the Palmetto Tigers and stops him there after not much of a return.
Look, make no mistake about it. Iron is a beast. And he is a great athlete. He will be a D1 starter somewhere when he graduates. But he is he's just a sophomore, I believe, and
big kid.
Yeah, he's 6'1", 182, but he's just a great kid as well.
What they were good at doing there was making him go east and west instead of north and south. He probably ran 50 yards, but he didn't gain anything.
Good play initially by Crawford, turning him to the sideline. Now Squitieri looks, he's got the big fullback in the backfield with him, and it's a handoff to the big back. He's trying to pop out there, and he does, and he takes a hit, but it's a gain of about 6 on the play.
Yeah, we kind of need to keep an eye on this clock here. If we want to it's a little under 4 minutes left in the half here, and it's clock management time here. Who can get a score here before half, or who can if we can hold them and just go out 10-7. Let's see what happens.
3 minutes and 37 seconds remaining, 2nd and 5 here for Squitieri. And a low snap, and it's down right there. What do we have? A stoppage of play.
I think we have a flag on the other side of the field. I don't know if it's going to be on the Canes or
could be an offsides or a delay of game. Let's see what we've got. It's offsides on Palmetto.
Yeah, you know what? If there's one negative that we have this year so far, it's been the amount of offside calls that we've received defensively. And, you know, really, and I know Coach Cucci preaches this, there's no excuse for that. And, you know, I don't think anybody moved, so obviously they lined up offside.
They did. They lined up offside. Squitieri takes it, hands it off to the big back, gets things going, and really a decent job by the Tigers. And that's one guy you do not want to get the motor running down the field, but it goes for a nice 5-yard gain.
No, I mean, this kid, Kyrie Jones, I mean, 5'9", 230. He's a freshman. I don't know who made him, but he is an absolute beast. He's going to be a star in Manatee County. There's no doubt about it. I mean, he's going to be something special. We got 4 years of this, guys.
He's back in the backfield, 7 yards deep. Ball back there. Great feet for a big man. He goes for the first down. So, you know, what we saw out of him, for a 230-pounder, he has type feet, and that's a combination.
And he runs low to the ground.
And that's what it comes down to tonight is Manatee's been able to produce. We haven't.
And you've said it in the pregame. We talked about it. We just need to worry about ourselves and play our game, and we haven't done that.
Now, with 22.7 seconds remaining, you might see a squib kick because there's the very dangerous Jonte Wester and Dravey.
Try.
Get a field goal opportunity.
So now, they can do that in one play. They'd have to get out of bounds or get a first down.
And there's something over here with Butler. There's a very soft coverage. You might just throw it out there and see if he can make it work. Marino steps up. He's running. He's running across the line of scrimmage, and he goes for 9 yards, and he's going to be tackled there. 2 seconds remaining on the clock. Oh, boy, that one ran for an additional 2 seconds after the play was blown dead.
He was in that tent over there across the field, and it was still running.
I know Coach Marino was over there signaling for a timeout. Let's see.
Yeah, they're saying 2 more
okay,
seconds.
They're bringing them back. Yeah,
that's right.
They're making it right here.
That's the right call. There was 2 seconds left on the clock here, and now the ball, Palmetto takes a timeout. There's plenty. You got a shot at a Hail Mary at this point.
Pretty much.
Outside of field goal range. Now, different things with Wester and Jonte Wester and Butler. This is the kind of thing you might want to try, some type of hook and ladder. Get your middle of the field route with a Kobe Mays, and then you have a trailer to either a Wester or to Butler, and anything can happen. But a tough spot for the Tigers, and you got to be careful here of your quarterback taking a big hit on the long toss here at the end of the half. 2 seconds on the clock. Marino is talking it over with the offensive unit.
We haven't called Kobe Mays. He came on strong for us last year.
Kobe has been involved in some plays. He had that pass interference call on him earlier, and he had another play that I think Anthony just kind of overthrew him. But he's definitely a playmaker, and I think we always go back. We have a lot of playmakers here. We have options here. It just really depends. We have to go for it here. I mean, you have no time to think about bringing a field goal unit in, so you've got to try to make something happen here and get in the end zone.
Brian, I like that hook and ladder with one of those quick guys.
Yeah,
I think that could.
Yeah,
that's worth a shot.
Kobe Mays, and you have Curtis Thomas out there on the far side. He's shown that he's very elusive. We got a 3-bunch coverage over here to the right. Offensive line's going to need to block. Marino's looking. He's got the ball at the 50, trying to find, steps up, throws the long ball, headed for the end zone, and it's up in the air, rolling, bouncing, and it's going to be gathered there at the 2-yard line. And
my goodness.
That was can't see if that was an interception or a completion. So they did say the ball was picked off by Manatee there at the 2-yard line. So that's going to end things here. And let's take it to our halftime sponsor.
Your first half score here at located field hockey stadium, your Manatee Hurricanes 17, Palmetto Tigers.
Valiant effort there.
Tom Porter may catch up with Coach Marino here. So let's see if we can catch Tom Porter, see if he has time and is able to catch Coach Marino.
I do not actually. Coach Marino took off, but I was going to chime in there a little bit about that no timeout call that we saw there. Coach Marino was livid. He was beside himself. He came out afterward and asked the referee. He said, "Hey, I called the timeout. You looked at me. You put your hand up and said, hold on. I kept calling timeout, and the referee just said, I didn't see you." Even though he turned around and looked at him, the fans went crazy. While we're standing here talking about the fans, what an impressive turnout for the Palmetto High School Tiger fans. Our stands are completely full. Manatee is, kind of sporadic. They have a decent crowd over there, but I mean, man, it's not very far from Palmetto to Manatee, but man, the following for this team has really picked up, and it's great to see the support that we have even on the road here from these Tiger fans.
Thanks very much, Tom. Now let's kick it off to the Richardson Stinton Roofing halftime.
PalmettoTigers.com, and you pick the red and black or varsity level membership, and you will get access to catered food from Hickory Hollow. You'll have a field viewpoint, which is fantastic, and we're getting rave reviews on it. But we're also going to be organizing some alumni things. So anyway, with that, Brian, I'll turn it back over to you.
Now, like they used to say, does the free bowl of soup come with your hat? But the hat you have on tonight is the IPFAM hat. I pay $5 a month. That's a nice looking hat.
Yeah.
Now, is that part of the package, Bill?
Yes, thank you for pointing that out. I want to make sure that people understand if they sign up as a booster member, they're not just giving money randomly. First of all, you're going to get something for your membership. Everybody at the IPFAM level gets at least a shirt. They get a decal for their car, and they get recognition on our website and in our game program. If you get to the higher levels, there are more perks for membership, and you can go online and you will see what you receive. Everybody is going to get something in return for their investment in the program, and all of our money goes back to the programs that we support at Palmetto High School. So we are a volunteer group. We are a nonprofit group. Your money counts towards the young people at Palmetto High School, so it's very important. So give what you are able to give, and you will be recognized and you will be appreciated.
Hey, Bill, thanks very much. We appreciate you. A great job that you're doing with Palmetto Boosters. You know that it's raining out there, so don't let that back door hit you as the pros, Ken and Rick, slide in there on your way out, and keep that hat might keep you dry. I've known Bill for a long time. But, in this game, during the Richardson-Stinton halftime report here, we've seen the Palmetto Tigers have some issues on defense. Specifically, the big issues are really simple, lining up offsides encroachment. They're calling that very tight tonight. And then we've seen a lot of problem when Squitieri is rolling out either to the right or the left. The little drag routes across there to Fordham and Jackson have been relatively open, very open in the middle of the field, been a problem. But, with an offense like the Palmetto Tiger offense, it's a 17-7 lead. We are certainly not out of this, but we'll prepare as Manatee will take the kickoff. Rick?
Well, we have to come out here right now. We have to forget about the first half, and we've got to hopefully do some work defensively and quit allowing these easy crossing routes to occur on every drive. The linebackers, I'm having a hard time picking up, and we'll have to look later, but the linebackers are just not covering. I don't know if they're trying to play the run and they're trying to shoot the gap and sack the quarterback, or what's going on. But when you have a receiver wide open on every play, they could run that crossing route. I would run it until we stop it. I mean, they're just getting everything done. And then with that running game right now, it's giving them everything they can handle. But this is a very smart defense. They're very physical, a lot of pride here. We've got to stop Manatee on this first drive. And then offensively, we've got to start making the plays that we know we can make, right? I mean, we've got playmakers out here just like Manatee, except for that one drive where we got stuffed there on the 2-yard line. We've done fairly well. So we just got to come out here and make plays, Kenny.
Yeah, absolutely. Ever since they made the change at quarterback with Squitieri, they have been really moving on all cylinders and running and passing, and hopefully that's why you have a halftime where you can go in there and make those adjustments, and we can get these things corrected and get back in this ball game, gentlemen.
And never has the kickoff coverage unit been so important out here on the boundaries. We have Wester, and on the far boundary, I think we have Wells out there on the far boundary. And this, if you're going to cover a kick, this is the time to do it. And
you see where Fordham is, right?
Yeah,
right in the middle.
Yep.
That's where he had him last time.
Yeah, and to counter, 42 is going to be Rafael Gonzalez, stronger leg, so he's going to kick it from now. He kicks a pooch kick. He calls a fair catch there at the not a bad 23-yard line. Nice kick. Now that is an excellent job by Robbie Stevenson. You'll take that when there's dangerous receivers like that. 23-yard line, great play by the special teams unit.
Right, you want to keep them. We were talking last week, keeping them inside the 30. Coach Marino wants them inside the 20, but Nobody's hurt, and usually a special team big play will turn a game around, and we just eliminated that.
Now Manatee's taking this one. Ball is at the 25-yard line. Squateri's back there with a big back in the backfield with him, and I expect a heavy dose of that young man this half. He gets it, and he's arm tackled there by Bembry, so that's a great play on a very large back.
Yeah, that was a good job by Bembry. I mean, he's got a offensive guard on his back as he's trying to get one arm free and get out there and make a tackle, which he does. You know, we haven't really called Matty White's name very much tonight. I know I don't see him in here to begin with on this first drive by Manatee, but you know, we've got Dozier back out there. We've got number 52.
Rumpf.
Yeah, Rumpf is there, and Bembry, of course. So I think they're trying to put maybe a little bit more meat out there on the line.
So Manatee's got this one. He's got Kyrie Jones in the backfield, and this time he breaks a tackle or two, and he's going to go for about a 8-yard gain, so that's going to bring up a very manageable 3rd and 2. And there's the big back. You know, you expect to see a heavy dose of that young man this half.
Well, you know, it's easy for us to stand up here and say, but those other guys, I mean, you got to hit them low, and you got to wrap up those legs, and you know, that's really the only shot that you have to contain him somewhere close to the line of scrimmage.
Before he starts leaning forward,
right.
Or we're going to see these 8-yard gains.
Now 3rd and 2. Squateri's looking the field over 2 receivers on each side. And now Palmetto sells out and he creased them. The Bear has creased the Bear coverage, and so that goes for a big one. And that's a concern when you have an 8-man front, roll it up there, and you got a big back like Kyrie Jones. You know, they'll crease the Bear occasionally and comes up with a big play.
And he's got those nimble feet for a big man, young man, 9th grader, and easy run and first down, move the chains.
Yeah, right now, since about the second quarter, they're having their way with the running game.
When they made the quarterback change.
Yeah, absolutely, Kenny. I mean, they're running the ball effectively, and we're having a hard time containing that line of scrimmage.
Palmetto in a 4-3 look this time, and now Squateri fakes the handoff, goes to the middle of the field, and he's going to be tackled after about a 3-4 yard gain on the play.
And he's just trying to keep the defense honest there. Hey, I can run the ball too. I probably don't have the best speed, but again, the defense is struggling when you've got the athletes on the outside. Quarterback is managing the game well. We talked about that before. And the big running back. They got their hands full.
The back was covered, and a quarterback coming from the old, wing T formation. He is good at reading and kept that one. So he's an excellent quarterback. Now that it's high snap, and Squateri has it, pitches it late, and he's got the big back out there, goes for the first down again. So that's Kyrie Jones running, and really just what the doctor ordered for the Canes, coming off the 23-yard line and driving right down the field, run-heavy packages.
No, that was a heck of a play by Squateri. I mean, he is almost tackled, and he's able to get that pitch off, and there's nobody out there on the outside to try to make a tackle. And
a gutsy play there as he's getting tackled. Yeah. That could have easily been a fumble.
And a tough snap. He was able to very, very good composure shown by Squateri. He's one back in the backfield. That's Napoleon Harris. Fakes the ball to Harris. Now he's looking for the middle screen. Didn't get it. Throws it late and across the body. Once again, wide open receiver. And that is number 9, Dre Evans.
I tell you, that we got a flag here, but
illegal receiver downfield. So what you saw there, one of the linemen did cross the line of scrimmage. You'll pick that up on the North Manatee Realty. And let's see. There he was. He was way on the far side of the field. And about very close. He was about 3 yards. It was on, I believe it was the right tackle on the far side. And, usually they'll give you a little bit of leeway there. That one was right on the cusp. So good break for the Palmetto Tigers.
Huge break, about 30 yards. They were going to be about on the 15, and they're back to the 44.
Right now, Squateri is about a half a foot in front of everything we're doing. He is right there. We're about to make a tackle on him. He's able to keep his momentum going forward. He makes a great pass on the run once again.
Right on the dime. Again, crossing route with the receiver, avoiding pressure. But very fortunate break for the Tigers. Now that brings up a 1st and 15. They fake the jet sweep, and now this time in the backfield, missed tackle back there. Now he looks, composes himself, got to receive big hit, but he's got the first down there. And that's going to be a great catch by Napoleon Harris.
We do have the flag down, not sure what it is, but there's one laying there in the middle of the field.
I wouldn't expect that to be a targeting from that position.
I think that came down before the play was even made.
Okay, maybe a receiver down, an eligible receiver downfield.
Yeah, hopefully
again.
another break.
Yes. Extending the plays like this, when you have Kenyon Fordham and Squateri making things happen, that's going to be holding on the Palmetto Tiger defense. Decline. That's the first down for the Canes. Driving here, balls at the 23-yard line.
You know, one of the things in the adjustments I think I would do is make him go to the right, because he's killing us throwing to the left.
Well, here, one thing right now is that defense is tired. You can tell they are wore out. They've been chasing him all over the backfield, and he's making plays.
Now, you got Harris in the backfield, hands it off number 25. Derek Marino makes the tackle, spins off that, goes for about a 7-yard gain, and that time on the run was Eric Washington, who's a linebacker now playing running back.
You know, Brian, earlier in the game, we talked about Palmetto being like plus 11 in the differential, and eventually it balances out, and you know, we haven't seen the turnovers like we saw the first 2 games.
That's correct. Tyson Phelps was actually the running back on that one. I have a correction there. And now Squateri looks. He's rolling to the right, and he throws the long ball down there. Good break on the ball by the Palmetto defender, and that's going to be an incomplete pass.
Yeah, that was a good job there by Reese Lyons, actually. So he came out and made that coverage stop, and I mean, that's what we got to do. These playmakers are going to have to get out there and cover these receivers. This reminds me so much of those 1990 Hurricanes. You know, they were wide open. They could run it down your throat, or they could just throw.
They had all the weapons.
They had all the weapons, and it looks very similar to some of those Coach Canan teams back in the 90s. But you know, we just got to continue to battle here, guys. I mean, we look a little tired, but that was a great play by Reese, our playmaker, someone that you would expect to step up and take control. And you know, we may be seeing a little bit of advantage here from the O-line of Manatee because of that size difference that we have up front. But just got to keep that heart in this and make a play.
Big play.
Kyrie Jones is in the backfield now. He flanks out wide. Squateri look for a quarterback draw. It's a middle screen. That's beautiful. Play call. That's a touchdown. He's at the 10-5. Touchdown, Napoleon Harris.
Textbook. That's
Great
how you do
call.
it right there.
I mean, you can't mark that play any better. You can't put that on the board and say this is how we got to run a screen. It was perfect. And they had every single defensive lineman rushing the passer on that one. I mean, they just brought an all-out blitz, and there was no one covering.
And to me, the giveaway was sending out the big back out as a receiver. Like, you're not going to throw it to him.
No, good play
you're
call.
You're going to give it to the fast guy there, and
I really was
great call.
Expecting to see a quarterback keep after you send the back out there and run the quarterback keep up the middle.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so great play. High snap. Oh, Palmetto Tigers. No, this one's no good. Hits the crossbar. So here with 7 minutes and 18 seconds remaining, your Palmetto Tigers trail this one 23-7 here at Hawkins Stadium.
Well, we know we needed a stop. We talked about managing the end of the first half and Manatee getting it the second half, and they come down and scored. But maybe the turnaround will be that the missed extra point here. We can get something going. We got to get the ball. We got to get moving here really quick.
Hey, we've got to score. I mean,
yes.
we talked about that. You know, when we were tied 7-7 that we're going to have to match them. We haven't been able to do that. And we really have stalled offensively since we got stuffed there at the 2-yard line. And we need another big run back here by either Bubba or Jonte here, and let the offense get going. And, you know, whatever we got to do offensively to get into the end zone, there's no reason to pull back here. We got to go.
And it may come from a kickoff or a punt return or something here that it may not be the offense, but maybe to help ignite them.
Yeah, if you're going to return a kick, you want a guy to do it. There's two of them out there, Butler and Jonte Wester. takes this one, he drives it, and that one's going to be
Not gonna
filled
run
by
that one
Wester,
back.
and that one's in the end zone. So that's an effective way to take Jonte Wester out of.
Yeah, we had that one all last year. We didn't have to worry about their speed guys running it back.
Right now we need the offensive line to really suck it up here and give Anthony time to throw the ball and open up holes. But Kobe's got to get in this game. We've got to get him involved somehow, and we've got to get those speed players. We need to get Bubba involved and Jonte, and really we don't have a lot of time. The time of possession is way out of whack here, guys. Manatee's had this ball most of this game.
Marino's got this one. He's looking it over, and he throws a slant there. Good catch, 9-yard pickup, and that's going to be Kobe Mays. And he's going to have to take a play off here because he lost his helmet on the play. So that's going to shift things around. Expect to see a run here, and entering the game is Logan Pisano now to replace Kobe Mays on this play. So not a great spot there, but it's bringing up a 2nd and 2. Out here you have Curtis Thomas wide with Jonte Wester and Pisano over there in single. Marino scans the field, looks for the longbow, and he's being tackled out there.
That was a mugging.
So Pisano was basically bear hugged down the sideline there, pass interference, so that's going to bring up a first down for the Tigers.
I mean, he was tackling him like 10 yards down the field there. I mean, it was almost could have been catchable.
Yeah.
But I mean, he just mauled him.
Well, we've got to score quick.
We're getting there.
Right. So
we're getting there.
So we've got to score. We can't really be, running the ball as much as we want to right now. But it's just very timely running when we need it.
Yeah, incomplete passes and penalties, always a good thing when you're trailing. Now this one's going to be pitched wide. Look at the great speed there, and to get the hold out there. Johnny Jones for a nice run. They got a holding call probably on Jonte Wester out there on the edge.
Or, also I'm trying to pick up maybe number 29.
That's Curtis Thomas.
Yeah, Curtis Thomas may have been guilty of a hold. Just not what you need when you're driving the ball and getting a little help from defensive Manatee.
So we got a break there. One thing, this drive, it needs to be long enough to allow our defense to have a little bit of break. Pretty much they're in. Yeah, it is. They played
on both out there, cuts it inside, makes another great cut,
25 yards.
Perhaps on the north, Mantle was in the air, and that was long after the ball was thrown down. 3 receivers, and they fake the handoff, looking out there. Marino throws it. Great catch.
Because we're not
in the Cross-River. We've had a little bit of time, and it's time.
Ball, and he slipped.
Minutes and 48 seconds. The Palmetto Tigers are kicking off.
It's time. You're spot on, Rick.
3 receivers to the right, 1 single out here. 25 puts his foot in the ground.
Correct.
1st and 10. Squitieri.
9. Ellison Bradley came in there and just took a shot and jarred that ball. Good job by him. This talented running back, everything that he needs to run through, they are really opening up some holes. And I know that our defense is tired. They've been on the field a lot this game, and they're up against a lot of beef here, gentlemen. And, as we know, that wears on you after a while. I don't care who you are. But Bembry made a nice play on that.
Yeah, and then Wyatt's shifting over here to the other side against the big fellas out there. And now Squitieri, they get Palmetto offside. Bembry jumps, and that's another first down. The Tigers tonight have been giving up a lot, but don't want to be negative. I want to have a little fun with Manatee County trivia here as they march this one off. During the 2012 college football season and prior, the University of Alabama had not trailed in 10 straight quarters or 10 straight games. What former Manatee High football player took the snap on the Ole Miss scoring play as Ole Miss took the lead and broke the streak? We'll get back to that one, see if you can figure from that. Squitieri's got this one. Low snap, picked it off the ground. Great play by Squitieri. Back goes for a 2-yard gain, but another great play by Anthony Squitieri. Did you have any answers for that? During the 2012 football season, Alabama had not trailed in 10 games. What Manatee took the snap on the Ole Miss scoring play as Ole Miss took the lead and broke the streak?
Our guys in the trailer got it up there on the screen. When we talked about it earlier, I thought you said 2002, and I knew that was Tom, I knew it was past Tommy Frazier,
Yeah.
so not him, but that's way beyond.
Who took the snap as Ole Miss took the lead versus Alabama? Anybody got any clues?
Yeah. Well, we got a player down, and Mike Goff got hurt on that last play as we.
Marino looks, and he's throwing it down the long ball down the sideline. Back shoulder fake. Great catch out of bounds.
Can you believe that? He caught that ball.
That's a fantastic catch out of bounds. Back shoulder fade away from the safety, but just a bit
Watch
outside.
this. Oh, my goodness. He goes up and gets it.
That's a big
Over
league catch.
two guys. My goodness.
Great shot from the North Manatee Realty Cam, but that brings up a second 10 and 10. Good news, no time really has gone off the clock with an incomplete pass, 9 minutes and 21 seconds. Palmetto coming out, hurrying up, trying to get things.
Oh, he's underneath center.
So he's got under center, and he hands the ball off. Good run there, good lane, and he goes for a nice 7-yard gain on the play.
Generally, if he's been under center, it's usually a quarterback sneak because he's in the shotgun most of the time.
They're just trying to keep them on their heels a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I like it. I like the call. I love the call. We got him.
Good run there, with Johnny, right? And, I mean, this is fourth down territory, in my opinion. No matter what.
Absolutely.
Sure. Marino checks out. Good coverage there by the Manatee defense. Johnny Jones fakes it to Johnny. Marino rolls to the right.
Throw it away.
Not looking good. Now he throws it out there late. And incomplete pass, and we're going to have a...
he's looking at the lineman.
Yeah, we had a lineman downfield on that.
Is that... I don't...
It was a number 55?
55. Gullett?
Is Gullett getting down there, number 65. But, with the quarterback scrambling, that's going to be a loss of down on the play. So really...
We're gonna have to go for this, whatever it is. It's going to be fourth down.
Yeah, it's going to bring up and they're waving off that. They're saying the ball was thrown behind the line of scrimmage, which it was not.
They have picked up 3 tonight.
That ball was thrown past the line of scrimmage. And sideline warning. Well, this is a big one. 4th and 1. This is the big one. 8 minutes and 41 seconds remain. Palmetto is out there, and the 2 receivers on each side set.
It's not going to be a sneak.
Might be a quarterback keep on this.
Yes.
And it is.
Yep.
And he's got it. First down. And there's going to be...
Oh, that was a late hit. That was a hit on the helmet. That was a head-to-head shot. There was no reason for that.
First down, Palmetto Tigers. Yeah,
the referee was right there.
Yeah, there was 2 of them. 1, 2 right there, and they didn't see it. But we got the first down and live for another day here. We have got to... yeah, this is the first time we've really seen him run the sneak from the shotgun.
Watch this at the end of the play.
Right there.
Right there, yeah.
Yep. 2 receivers, both sides. Oh, we have a false start, and we had something over here on this left side, but we'll keep that in the pocket, and let's look at that one a little bit later. False start on the offense. 1st and 15. 8 minutes, 22 seconds remain.
Here's the problem is, time is an enemy right here, and we don't have a lot of time to be back in the misplay. We got to get in the end zone. We got to.
Yeah, they haven't used a lot of time. It's just that seems. But we have. Time is of the essence. We have got to score. You're spot on.
Handoff, Johnny Jones. He's going to be tackled there. Drags forward for about a 4-yard gain on the play, and that's a linebacker that you'll not normally see in Manatee High uniform. Number 41, 5'7", 160-pound Mike linebacker.
Oh my goodness!
And he plays some DB, but
small Alonzo Houston.
Yeah, that's something you don't see.
You don't see it. No, you're.
Kobe. Ball is thrown high and outside, and that's going to be incomplete pass. Now it brings up a 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12 on this one.
I like the play call. Just didn't connect.
He was a little behind him. Kobe tried to come back and make a play. They had some good coverage there by the DB there, Manatee.
And to Marino's credit, he has been. That's probably the first time he's been behind on a pass tonight.
We really got to try to get Bubba out here, a little swing pass or Jonte, and let the speed, pick up
those
the first down.
The yards after the catch.
Manatee rolling back into a two-safety set. Probably a good idea. Marina rolls right, throws the ball down the sideline, nearly picked off, intended for Jonte Wester. So that brings up a 4th and 12 here for the Tigers. Interesting play call here. You know, do you go for it in this situation?
I don't really think you have a choice, honestly.
You don't.
We got 7:51 left, Brian, and
two scores with a 2-point conversion.
I mean, ideally, if you miss it, this is not where you want their offense to start, but we don't have a choice here.
We haven't gone back to our early success in the middle of the field.
No, we have not.
Pino takes it out of the shotgun. Butler in motion, running a wheel route on this sideline. He's got it. He's open, and he catches it, and that is a first down. Beautiful play.
Great catch, a great throw. The only better thing could have been that Bubba could have killed. He makes a great catch there and much needed first down.
We got another flag back there in the backfield, probably another personal foul, but let's check it out. Let's check it out. Boy, the flags have not been going the Tigers' way tonight. But let's see how this one shakes out.
That was a gutsy call.
Obviously, this is going to be against
Palmetto
Tigers. Ouch.
After the play, I would assume. And it's a lineman.
Let's see if we can pick it up here. I don't know if the camera's going to stay up there.
Yeah. What a good pitch and catch there on a 4th and 11.
And a wheel route. Great call.
All right, so that's
gutsy call.
Is that still going to be a first down?
Yeah.
And attack the yard.
So we're just going to lose the yardage.
After the play, probably a retaliation with one lineman there, but that's still the first down for your Tigers.
We live for another day, Rick. Wow. Despite that penalty.
So that's a big one here for the Tigers, hanging tough. 7 minutes, 24 seconds remaining. Marino scans the field out of the shotgun.
Slot.
And he throws the option out there. Johnny Jones gets a block out there on the edge. Nice block, and he goes for a 7-yard gain on the play.
Running hard there.
I tell you, he tried to hit that hole quick. He tried to get around the edge, and he did. And you really can't ask for anything more from Johnny. I mean, he has really picked up some hard yards tonight. And offensively, we haven't been as quick off the ball as we are used to. And I just go back to this very athletic defensive line for Manatee. Just like ours, not very big, but they get off the ball.
Yeah, they've had an excellent game tonight. Now Palmetto looks. Butler in motion. Fakes the jet sweep. Marino keeps it, and he's going to go for the first down, and he's tackled there after a big gain on the play. Big block out here by Matthews late.
I think that was it? I think it was Luke Gullett. And we got to be careful on that. Yeah. I mean, we want them to drive down the field, but he's still a little bit amped up from that penalty that was called against him, and I don't know what the penalty was, what he did or didn't do, but
that's retaliation.
We have to be careful.
Yes, we got to be smart. He's our senior leader on that line.
The second guy generally gets caught, and that's what happened with Luke back there prior. But the good news is Palmetto Tigers are driving here. 6 minutes and 33 seconds remaining in the game. Now, as we roll this one ahead, at this point in the game, there's a choice here. If the Tigers are fortunate to score, you go for the 2-point conversion here.
I think you would go ahead and kick it and get the point first, and then you go for the 2.
Yeah, this is why I'm bringing this one up.
Are you asking?
I would agree with Kenny. I think
you take the sure point, and then you
knowing what you got to do. If you score again.
You got to score again, and then you go for the 2.
But then you can go for 2 twice.
Well, if you want to go for the win, yes.
Yeah.
He's playing for the win.
And then
we're going to pull this thing out with 16.2 scores.
If you miss the 2-point conversion the first time, you have an opportunity to pull it off the second time. No.
Well, let's do that. Hey, how about first things first? Let's get in the end zone.
And then we'll figure out. We'll see what the head man does.
Let's go here. Marino's got it in the shotgun. 3 receivers out here looking to the left part of the field. Throws the ball to the middle. And a good play there by the Manatee defense.
Okay, that was a good play. But he has his hand on the back of Bubba.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get
if
that.
If you look at that, he did have his hand and pulled his shoulder back.
I mean, and the referee is standing right there in great position.
Yeah, he got his hand across there on the front, but his left hand was draped on the back of Bubba Butler there.
Bayshore's pitching another shutout. Can you believe that? 2 weeks in a row. Wow.
It's awesome for them. That
Yep.
program's been
Yeah.
struggling for years.
Marino looks, throws it out there, and it's going to be Curtis Thomas. Nowhere to go, driving forward, and he's going to be tackled after a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, and this is where it becomes very important for those receivers to stay on those blocks and allow these plays to develop. I mean, that play works if you've got a body on a body
Right.
here.
See, there was a miss there.
Yeah.
And it's hard to block those DBs.
Yeah, and one thing about Manatee's DBs, they're good size, 6-footers out there
Yes,
around.
they got
Big
good
6'1" free safety back there. So not a small bunch, and speedy. They can cover. A tough task for the Tigers. 3rd and 8 here for Marino. Looks middle for nice throw.
Yes.
Kobe Mays, and he's got it more
And
in to the 1-yard line. Kobe Mays, great
Wow.
great route.
All right, so here's a question for you. Lord willing, everything goes good, and we score, and we get this extra point, whatever they do we...
Onside kick?
Yes. That's my question. Do we?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Marino takes
get in there, get in
quarterback
there.
keeper lunging to the right there, very
get your
late
hands
on the
up.
call.
Yes.
Touchdown. So your
Yes.
Palmetto Tigers are Fulgerson
Okay,
to
they're
29
going to kick
to
the
20.
point, which is what I was saying.
Okay.
But I don't know about the onside kick. That's
I mean, you've got 5:35. You've got
we haven't
3 timeouts.
We've held them to field goals this half. I mean, we've had some moral victories. We haven't shut them down though. So give them the short field and take the chance with the onside.
Or do we kick it?
Or we kick it and kick.
And hold them. Try to hold them.
Well, I'm going to take the Will Muschamp approach on this one, and I'm going to kick and play defense.
Probably wise.
Doesn't always work out, and that kick is up and no
Yeah,
good.
right.
So now that
Ouch.
told you guys we should have gone for 2
Should
there.
have gone for 2, Brian. Brian, you called it.
Yeah, hindsight is
He has
2020.
not kicked right all night. That really hurts.
And when he misses, I've watched him in pregame, and even I think we've talked about
always right.
It's always on the right, and it's that plant foot.
Let me tell you what, though.
Ouch.
In my opinion,
Now
you have
you
no
kick the
choice.
onside
Now
You have no choice.
we have to
with
do
you.
an onside kick. He can if he gets to kick it off, he can redeem himself here. Oh wow.
We didn't love that kick, but we do get a kick out of good service from
Yes,
the
we
guys
did.
at DeVito's Autos. And here on TigerVision, sponsored by Conley Buick GMC, we always look things with a positive light. And the positives are there is 5 minutes and 27 seconds left on the clock. You're down 29-20. I've been to so many football games, I've seen stranger things happen. Now it's Rafael Gonzalez coming out of his injury to kick this one away. And we've seen Rafael kick some onside kicks before, probably a little bit more experience than Billy Pineda. So here we are. Palmetto Tigers, there's
See what he does.
Nickel is out there with Derek Marino.
They've
Brown
got
is
9
out
people
here.
up. They've got 9 people up.
Everybody's
within
bunched up.
20 yards.
Gonzalez, kick,
Just the
high
pooch.
kick. He's trying to settle that one, and it's kicked out of
gonna be a
bounds. So
penalty.
the ball's going to be on the 35-yard line.
It's usually, 20, 25 yards from where you kick it. I forget. I don't know what the high school is.
Yeah. So
If it doesn't travel a certain amount of distance, let's see what they do here.
So we're up here in the box, getting our Saturdays and Sundays and Fridays mixed up here of what happens on a kick out of bounds here in high school football. Ball will be spotted at the 40.
Ouch. Well, they haven't spotted it yet.
So that's a big one. So the Canes will have it on the 40-yard line coming out of this one.
Figure out who's supposed to spot it here. Okay. Oh wow. We need a turnover.
5:25
Big
here
way.
on the clock. Big run there by Napoleon Harris for about a 3 or 4 yard. Palmetto defense selling out. So a gain of 3 on the play brings up a 2nd and 7. So here with 5 minutes and 6 seconds remaining, you got to get a stop here, and you got to start to think about your usage of 3 timeouts that are in your pocket. So you really need a stop here on this possession. if he can get a stop. Big back Jones, Kyrie Jones in the backfield, and Napoleon Harris back there. Palmetto Tigers creeping up. Big run. That's going to go for a first down, and he's tackled just on the other side of the 50-yard line, so they'll have it at the 48-yard line. First down, Manatee Hurricanes, 4 minutes, 41 seconds remain.
Yeah, if we can't stop the run here, the game's going to be over regardless if
they'll just run the clock
because
out.
Right now, they I don't know how many rushing yards we're going to end up with here outside that 95-yard dash, but they've been running the ball effectively all night. We just have not been able to consistently stop them, unfortunately.
So Jones is in the backfield, the fullback position. Harris is back there in the tailback, and he tries to cut to the outside, missed tackle the middle field. And he's got a big run here down to the 34-yard line. So that's another first down for the Hurricanes. Clock will stop.
They had him stopped. He's going to run this way, but then cuts back. He'll find the hole on the backside and runs for the first down.
Yeah, there's one thing that we're seeing
there
a lot
it is,
of.
right?
Yeah, one thing we're seeing a lot of tonight that we didn't see last week were just missed tackles. I mean, just a lot of missed tackles.
We've missed, yes.
Missed tackles and no forced fumbles
penalties
here tonight for the Tigers. Penalties.
Lining up in the neutral zone.
Kyrie Jones in the backfield. Gap over there on the left side of the offensive line. See if he goes there. He does run left, and Palmetto Tigers are over there to fill that one. After a gain of about 1, clock is down to 3 minutes and 36. It's time to start burning some timeouts here.
He got up.
2nd and 9.
They're just gonna.
I mean, right.
Why not?
There's no reason to rush the snap. I would let 20 plus seconds go off here.
And you really, as the Tigers, you need a stop here, and you're probably going to take a timeout if you're fortunate enough to come up with a stop. Squinteria back there. And is back there with Harris back deep and Jones up there in the fullback position. Squinteria takes it, hands it off to Harris. He's got a big hole initially, and he's tackled. Still going, and he's going to be thrown down after the pickup of the first down. So that's 2 minutes and 53 seconds remaining. And it's really a long march up the hill here for the Tigers as they're unable to stop this running game.
Yeah, whenever they made the switch at quarterback, it's just been a completely different game. Putting the quarterback Fordham out at wide receiver, and quarterback change has made a big difference.
2 minutes and 40 here. Canes driving, looking to put some insurance points on the board here, and the ball's at the 25. Squinteria waits the snap. And there's Big Jones. Nice cut in the middle field. Got the middle and tracked down there, but not after a huge gain on the play. Kept making the play there for the Tigers, number 14, able to peel back and make the tackle. But, it looks like the defense is worn out there, Rick.
Yeah, I mean, they've got these big bodies that have been on them all night. You got a huge 230-pound running back just running all over you, and we all know that's no fun. It's going to wear on you. I mean, we're late to the fourth quarter here. I think they're just gassed right now, and we know they have a lot of heart, and this is really going to tear them up. But you got to tip your hat to Manatee tonight.
Absolutely.
They have had a great game.
2 minutes remain. Big hit on the back. Nice play by Reese Lyons, playing with leverage here at the end of this one. 1:50 left on the clock. Palmetto's got to burn time out here. But 1 minute and 42 seconds remain. 2nd and goal inside the 5.
The interesting thing we talked earlier was our kids have never lost to Manatee.
Right.
Up till this group.
This group. So tonight's going to be the first time here. 1 minute and 24 seconds remaining. 2nd down here. Canes knocking at the door. The handoff to Harris, and he's going to be tackled there. Great play by Rump over there on the edge. So 1 minute and 11 seconds remain here.
And then the other thing that I was doing my research on, if Manatee would have lost this game tonight, they would have been 0-2. The last time they were 0-2, 2006.
Man.
With Joe Canaan. Can you imagine Joe Canaan being 0-2? But that year, they went all the way to the state semifinals. They ran to and eventually lost to St. Thomas Aquinas.
As most do.
Yes.
42 seconds remaining on the clock here. It's a 3rd down and 5 at the 3rd and 5 at the goal. So it's a handoff to the big back, and he's dragging people forward, but he's going to be stopped short, so that's going to be a 4th down. Palmetto electing to not take the timeout at this point. So it'll be interesting here on 4th down, 18 seconds remaining. That'll probably do it, and you'll see the Manatee Hurricanes here on the Cross-River Rivalry come out with a win here, score of 29-20, and that's going to be it. And really, looking at the positives that we can get from this game, one thing we did not see the Tigers do is to force a turnover. A really perfect game played tonight. I was very impressed with Port Charlotte Squitieri, the quarterback of Manatee. Played very sound and was a great field manager out there. And I think really for me, I think Squitieri, didn't have a 90-yard run or anything like that, but I really believe the way he managed the game, he was the player of the game in my book.
Yeah, I would agree, guys. I think, looking back here, we really go back to that stop that the Manatee defense had when we were on the 2 or 3 yard line early in the second quarter, and we just really had a hard time bouncing back from there. And then obviously the defense just was chasing the running game for Manatee all night. But we had opportunities. If you want to take away the positives, we had a chance to win this game. We just kind of shot ourselves in the foot at the wrong time and didn't make the plays when we needed to. But we had an opportunity here. These kids played hard for the entire 4 quarters, and we just go back to the drawing board. We regroup, and we got another tough opponent next week with Riverview.
And guys, Ken can tell you about the district play here. Even though when you have a loss, you're playing against a team that is up in the district. They're a higher district than we are, and it's a win on their schedule. Actually helps us if we're going to lose a game. You want to play to a team that's winning some games here. Is that correct, Ken?
You're exactly right there, Brian. And because they were a playoff team last year, I think even though they lost in the first round, we still get playoff points for that as well, and as well as next week with Riverview, who say we're the district champ. I agree with your analysis of the game. Hats off to Manatee, Coach Shakir. He was a brand new coach last year. Those kids had to learn to get into his program. He was very successful at Lincoln and Tallahassee, winning a state championship there. Now he's had these kids for a year, and it's made a big difference. And
let's kick
great
it.
game. Yeah,
let's kick it down to Tom Porter.
Hey, bring it in tight. 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 We didn't lay it on the line enough to be crying. Hey, let me tell you something. It's my fault. I'm taking 100% blame for this loss. Okay, we were not ready to play. We were not ready to play. But I can assure you this, we will be a different team next week. Okay? We will be a different team next week. You came in here half-stepping, lay down and die. They won. They were more hungry than we were. Let me tell you this. You're off tomorrow. You're off tomorrow. Your asses are mine, man. Okay, I'll get your asses in shape. I will make you mentally tougher. I will get you physically tougher. I said it from day one. Are we strong enough? Smart enough? That was answered tonight. That was answered tonight. No doubt. They left no doubt. We will be a different team next week. Trust me. Let's go. Bring it up. 8:30 Monday morning. 8:30 if you got any heart.
Hey, good game, hey, family on me, family on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Coach, obviously emotional. It's a tough loss.
Terrible loss.
Talk about the difference.
Terrible loss.
What was the difference in the loss tonight?
They were hungrier than that. We were. You get down in the red zone on the 2-yard line twice, and we can't win no points. And we're supposed to be this high-powered offense. 5 returning starters on the O-line. No. There ain't no way else to cut it. They wanted it more than we did.
Defensively, had some miscues. The receivers were open all night. What do we got to tighten up?
Defensively, we got wore out. All right, offensively, we gave them nothing to fight for. And they're a young, inexperienced defense. Okay, so they're not going to fight for nothing. They don't know any better. They have to have a lead. They have to have momentum. That's what a young, inexperienced defense looks like. Okay, you give them a lead, and they're beating their chest. Okay, we didn't give them a lead. All right, we're this great offense that we need to put and give the defense something to fight for. We knew defensively we were going to be a work in progress, but offensively, that's a terrible display.
I know it's probably hard now, but what positive can you take out of this?
The potential's there. We got to play to our potential. We got to get hungry, get more focused, and score points. Play the way to our potential. That's what we got to do.
Thanks, Coach. All right, guys. Obviously, as the coach is upset right now, when the players line up on the 50-yard line, Coach Marino was telling the players, I want you to look Manatee in the eyes because they just kicked your butt, and they did. They just kicked our butt. The score's 29-20. Doesn't really tell the story, but Manatee just took it to us. And I'm glad to see the fire in Coach Marino, and I'm sure he's going to put that fire in those kids come Monday morning. We got to play better. We got to do better, and we got to represent Palmetto better. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Tom Porter, and I want to apologize to the TigerVision fans. Here at Hawkins Stadiums, I know that we've got some hardwire capabilities, but we're trying to fly this thing off of an air card tonight, so I'm sure we've been in and out here. But from here in the corner of the press box here, I wanted to say, Tigers, one thing that we can take from this game is the positives are, this was a night when the Palmetto offense stalled. Really some great play. Really, the defensive line for Manatee was up to the task tonight. And they showed, even though they're a smaller defensive line than we may see in the future, they showed that they were up to blocking and then on the offensive line, Manatee showed that they were in control of the Palmetto Tiger defensive line. So we got to tighten some things up. Really, from a high-flying offense like we have here, like Coach Marino mentioned, you expect more points on the board, more production out of this offense. And it was a night when the offense was flat. Manatee's defense was good, and really something to learn from, build from here in the future.
Yeah, I would agree with everything that Coach Marino just stated, and we've been talking about it all night. I mean, offensively, you can't get stuffed on the 2-yard line, especially when your offensive line is much bigger, much stronger than your defensive opponent. Their defensive front looked more like ours last week. To be honest with you, they were flying off the ball, they were making plays, and they wanted it more. I don't know why we came out flat offensively. We have way too many playmakers not to have at least 30-plus points on the board every week. I know that they will figure it out, and we're just going to have to wait and see how they bounce back against Riverview next week.
Well, hey, guys, I'm here with Anthony Marino and Kobe Mays. Guys, tough offensive night for us. We were able to move the ball early in the game, and then we stalled. What seemed to be the issue with figuring out this Manatee defense?
There was really no issue. They outworked us, plain and simple. I mean, everyone did their job. They wanted it more than us. When you get the ball on the 2-yard line, what do we have, 4 times or whatever it was? You got to be able to put that in the end zone. I mean, it's just unacceptable. We got to come to work each and every day, and we didn't. We came in, like my dad said, half-stepping this week, and it's just unacceptable as an offense.
Early in the first half, we were completing a lot of passes over the middle. It was wide open. Did Manatee make an adjustment, or did we go away from the center of the field?
We didn't go away from it. We were trying, obviously, stuff something new because they're good. They're a defense. I mean, they're going to pick up what we put down. So I mean, some of it wasn't there. Some of it was there. I just missed it on my part. And I mean, bottom line is we just got to come out and work harder next week.
So Kobe, out there on the outside, you're lined up one-on-one with these guys quite a bit. You put some crazy moves on these guys on the side, but we connected a few times. But there were several close calls where we almost made a big play. What's the difference in almost making that play and making the play?
You just got to make the play. If you don't make the play, it don't count. You got to play 100%, run through run every route 100%. And I was jogging. I had no heart today.
Okay. Obviously, as Coach Marino said, Monday's going to be tough. You guys got to get your heads back on straight and come out next week against Riverview and be ready to go. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. Back to you guys.
You know, Brian, let's get ready to close this out. One thing that he said you said Manatee wanted it more. You know, they were hurt pretty bad with that win last year that we had, and so they've had a year to think about it. But when you line up on the 50, look at those guys, because that's what we got to figure out how to get that look and attitude back here real quick. So I'm glad he told him that. Now I wouldn't want to have to go to practice Monday, but you know, that's part of it. They'll get through it, and we got a tough opponent. We got to get ready. Riverview won that district last year, so that's just the way the schedule falls. So we'll get back at it, Brian.
No, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here tonight. I just wanted to say the statement there by Kobe Mays, you know, players, we just got to make the plays. And tonight the Manatee players made plays, and we just didn't make the plays. And it was a really short statement there, but, you know, you got to make the plays. And so that really was a profound statement by Kobe Mays. But now for the Hungry Howie's post-game report, tonight's final score from Bradenton, Florida in the Cross-River Rivalry. The Palmetto Tigers 20, the Manatee Hurricanes 29. We would like to thank the #1 internet sports broadcast fans in the world, our TigerVision viewers, for watching. Be sure to join us again next Saturday, September 7th, at home in the jungle at Harley Stadium as we face the Riverview Rams. For those of you attending the game, be sure to wear your red shirts. To get your fresh Palmetto Tiger gear, you can now shop on the www.palmettotigers.com page. My broadcast partners, Mr. Rick Wells, Ken Burton Jr., Tom Porter, the Rico sideline reporter, and I, along with the production staff of TigerVision, presented by Conley Buick GMC via PalmettoTigers.com, remind you